Oh, wait, did I mess it up? No? Okay. Hello? Did I just mess it up a little bit?
Oh, you're fine. It should be good.
Okay, cool.
You can move it however you
That
want.
way. Yep.
However you need.
I grabbed it from here. Okay, here we go. I got it. Got it.
I think nicotine.
You're in. Oh, Zen?
Velos.
Oh.
But I've been on since way before it was popular.
Okay, yeah.
But thanks for coming on.
Great to be here.
When I started this, it was this is what I wanted to start with. It was around, you were sitting in the tavern, sitting outside, reading a book about JFK, and we had just started doing this. And I don't even think we had everything together yet at that point. Or maybe I had like a couple episodes filmed or something like that. Or I don't think I even did. I remember it was my buddy and Matt, we're going to do this. And you're sitting out there reading that JFK book. And I was like, this is the type of guest that I want to come on. And then I started talking to you, and you're very chatty.
I was very chatty. I told you way too much
You
that
told
day.
me everything.
Like, too much. I was like,
Yeah.
oh. I was like, well, that was that.
But I was
we
like,
just became best friends.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I think I talked to you for, luckily it wasn't that busy that day. I think I talked to you for like 45 minutes in
Yeah,
and
it was a
out.
great time.
But I was like, this is the guest that I need to have come on. So for
Yeah.
months, you were like, I lived in Yardley. So for months, I'm asking like other townies, like a Bronston and
Yeah.
other people there. I'm like, do you guys know this girl, Gina? Like,
Oh, so
she's,
funny.
she's talking about, she knows about conspiracy theories, I think. And this is the type of guest that I want to have come on.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Bronson.
find you.
Oh my
I
God,
had no
really?
idea who you were.
Bronson.
I mean, I was asking
now
Gina.
Bronson
Gina,
knows
Gina.
me. If he knows, now he knows. Do you know Seth?
Yeah.
Okay, so Seth
asked
is
him
my
too.
yeah. Seth is what? You act like you didn't know me.
I don't
That's
know.
it.
Maybe I didn't get to ask
No,
him.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, he's Jake's my husband's best friend. So we see a lot of Seth.
Maybe
We
I
go
didn't ask
to
him.
all of Bronson's comedy shows now, which are really good time. Have you gone?
No, because it's always on Friday night.
Oh, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask.
But then you walked back into the bar after a wedding, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, finally. I was like, I knew I would find this. But you were supposed to be episode 1.
Man, thank you. That would have been so nice.
Yeah, but I'm glad it wasn't because the way we film now is way different
Yeah.
than the way it would have been. I mean, I love my episode 1. I don't know if you ever watched it. It's about a bounty hunter during the Vietnam War.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
I
it's
will
fun.
watch it. I'll watch it later.
That one's cool. But I'm sitting there. I am in shock. I am supposed to be the host, and I am nervous, and I didn't. But so I'm glad that you didn't come on until
No, now I'm ready too. Honestly, it's like
Well, I think
it's. Also, I was like a little nervous, and then I'm like, "Why am I nervous? I'm going to chat with this guy who I chatted with when I didn't know him at all for 45 minutes and told him stuff way too personal."
yeah.
You know,
Well, that's
But
why I
it
was like
great.
chatting with people for a little bit before we do this.
So nice.
It is. It's
Yeah.
good. It's a good time.
It's so nice.
And then I want you to be comfortable on this, but there's a lot of topics we have to cover. I mean, we can continue
A
our
lot.
conversation of what we were just talking about before we even got on here.
Yes.
But some of the ones, well, one, we don't have to cover JFK if you don't want to cover JFK.
We can chat a little bit, but I definitely feel like we can do some spiritual stuff and kind of where I even play into all this, just like where become me, because it really ties into everything of why I even like care about the conspiracy stuff now.
That's a good
I mean, that
one.
really,
Why do you care about the conspiracy?
I mean, that happened. I mean, it's controversial, but this all happened for me like during COVID. That's where like my
a lot of
sheer,
people went that way.
my
during COVID.
sheer like everything like JFK. I was like, what happened? That's what happened.
I
know?
think conspiracies upward trajectory.
It was
on
also
2020.
a really deep time for my faith. That was like,
Okay.
I like to say that I found God at a pretty young age. Like because, we talked about, sober, not sober. When I graduated high school, I remember like looking at myself in the mirror and being like, this is not what I want to be. Like right now, people are like, you weren't like big. I was not healthy. Like I ate Wawa every single day. Like I was getting 2 for $3 breakfast sizzlies and being not cute. Drinking twisted tea kegs, slapping the bags, like just started everything really young, I feel. Like I think that's probably normal, which isn't, it shouldn't be normal, but like is.
When you're doing it, it feels normal.
Yeah. So started everything really young, and then by 18, I remember like graduating and looking and being like, I don't want to be this person. And that was literally it. So do you remember when Avocare was really big? It was like this 24-day challenge of like the Mediterranean diet, no alcohol, blah, blah, blah. That's like when my life changed. I did that, lost almost like every friend that I had because I realized all we did was drink together and drink and drive at that. Like we used to call my friend the DDD, the designated drunk driver, which is terrible.
Yeah.
Like we were kids. We were just like, whoa, get a bottle of Bacardi and go for a ride. Like what? So crazy.
Yeah.
So I remember being like, this is not the life that I want to live. And during that 24 days, I would go, this is where Bristol comes in because, I love Bristol so much. Yeah. I would go to Bristol every day, and there was my favorite tree. It had this big root, and it was like it hugged me, and I would sit there for hours, like no phone, like shut my phone off, sit for hours on end. And I mean, I did this for 24 days. I would have decaf lattes at Cum Waters on Friday nights. And I remember like reading Emily Dickinson and being like, what is she saying? Like I didn't understand any of it, but I was reading it.
How old were you?
I was 18.
See, that's weird. I went through a little stage like that too, where I was, I didn't know what that feeling was that I was searching for, but I was kind of getting it a little bit. And I think it was like this weird little renaissance that was happening inside me. But I was reading Edgar Allan Poe. So I had every work of Edgar Allan Poe, and I would read that. And I was trying to drink like tea, and I was trying to do all this. And then eventually I switched over to drugs for a little bit. But then again, I have like a little resurgence at like 21 to come off of like depression medication I didn't think I needed to be on. So I went this whole holistic route and studied holistic medicine for 2 years. And I was doing yoga and doing all this. And then the drugs come back again. And then I have another resurgence. So it's always, I'm always searching for something outside of me that wasn't a drug or an alcohol. But
and I always say like, because I said something to my friend the other day, and I'm like, like he lives in you. And that's why like you have the power to like, yes, like when you're asking for forgiveness, like it's really you like forgiving yourself because you have to. Like that's like, and then my sense, because I'm like, you're forgiving yourself all the time, right? Like you have to, because if not, you live in, like I have friends, I'm like, you gotta like let that go. But it's because I have like a peace that surpasses all understanding. And that definitely comes from a God that lives in me that gives me that power to keep going and to forgive myself, get back up, talk to people again. Like it's just because without that, you just really can wallow real low.
well, I think a lot of people are always looking for others to come and ask them for forgiveness a lot of the time. And I think I spent a lot of my life being like, they owe me an apology, somewhat of a victim mentality, right? And they owe me an apology, and I resent them for this. When I realized that I needed to go out and start to apologize to people instead and to apologize to myself, that's when I went, oh, okay, at least I can clean my side of the street. I can't worry about their side of the street.
Yeah.
And that's really when I started to be like, oh, I can heal others.
Yeah.
Because
it is such an inward thing. And I've realized that in marriage as well. I'm like, because, I've always been a very relationship girl. Like I kind of go from like one serious thing to another. And at first, like, I'm like, oh, well, that could be a problem. But it's also like with my husband now, I realize we are like two people who have grown up together, haven't given up on each other. And like, honestly, like my husband's just fiercely loyal. And it's like such an amazing quality. Like my husband was actually married before. He got married pretty young. And he was building this beautiful house that we live in now. And, that was for like him and his wife, like who he was supposed to be with. And like, I don't think he ever would have given up on her. And that's just the way his heart is, that he won't give up. And I like literally tell him like, you're like you bother me sometimes, but you are very Christ-like. Like my husband doesn't say a bad word about anybody, like ever. And he's so forgiving to like, it's so beautiful because like, I like to think that I'm that way. And then sometimes I'm more like a little gangster about stuff where I'm like, well, that person hurt you and I'm going to have to take them down. And he's like, well, and I'm like, wow, you're lovely. Like there's people who have those qualities. And that's what I saw in him from a very instant thing. And with my husband, it actually wasn't that instant electric energy either when we met. Like
maybe that's good.
Because I'm so used to that where like, I'm like, it has to be like, bleh. But I remember, and I tell him this, so it's no big deal, but I was like, thought you were a little boring, Like, we had a great first date, but, like, I was kind of, like, post a breakup, like, 9 months, and I just picked him. I was like, that guy is handsome, and I'm going to kiss him. And that was, like, my only intention,
I'm gonna kiss him.
And I'm an aggressive kisser. If I, like, want to kiss you, I'm definitely going to kiss you. So that happened, and I remember like coming home. I'm like, he's really like handsome. He's like kind of, you know. But it's also because
That is
he's a
so
really good
funny.
listener. Like I am such like our first day, I was like just talking at this man, and he was just like, and I was like, blah, 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 blah. Like usually I'm used to someone like giving it back, but again now we have great chats and we laugh and we can do other things. But I remember thinking like, I don't know if you're gonna stick this out, dude, because like I'm kind of at a 10, and you're here. But again now we laugh and I'm like we're so he balances everything for us. You know, I think if he was at my 10, we'd just be like, I don't think people would want to be near us. Can't have two Ginas in the room.
Can't have two tens.
I don't know. You can, but
I don't think
whew.
anyone else needs to be in the room if there's two tens.
No,
You just have
I
the
don't
two
think
tens.
like if there was two Ginas in the room, people were like, all right, calm it down, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I like to live that way. And it's not like I try. Like, I'm genuinely excited, like, most days. Like, happy to be alive. Like, I wake up, like, I flatline here. Like, I wake up and I'm pretty annoying. My husband's like, all right. I'm like, go ahead.
You're chatty immediately.
I'm like, you know, I can, like, chill. Like, I'm not always chatty, but, like, now I'm pretty electric. Like, when I wake up, like, I'm ready to go. Like, my kid, yeah.
I need an hour.
Yeah, no, I'm ready.
I need an hour, then I'm good to
like,
go. Once I
music
get
is on.
going, though,
You're on.
I'm on.
You're on. You're ready to
But
rock.
I try to get going immediately, too. Like, from the moment I wake up, I try to, because I do that, like I told you, 5 days a week or so. I'm at, you know, a meeting at 7 a.m. So I'm usually up at 6:15 picking those guys up in 20 minutes. I'm gone. If I'm going to the gym instead in the morning, I need to make sure I'm out of the house in 45 minutes because I
Yeah.
want that turned on, right? I want that going.
Yeah, it's the best
So,
feeling.
yeah, it is a good feeling. And it's natural. It's not, you know, it is. It is a good feeling.
Yeah.
I always thought.
How do you feel about, I have to shower in the morning. It killed me having my pipes frozen this morning.
Oh, your pipes were frozen?
Yeah. It's not okay. And like,
It was 4 degrees this morning.
it was 4 degrees. And like, here, my husband and I were like worrying about our mountain houses. And then like, he got up at 5 to go to the gym because I joined the NAC recently and it's amazing and I'm loving it.
The first time?
First timer.
Whoa.
Yeah. And my husband, he was a member for like 10 years back in the day. So I was like, just join. Like I took him with, I actually didn't know, but I joined on Black Friday. So I got like the best deal. Got all these guest passes, like skipped enrollment. So I've been bringing them and I'm like, just come back. This is such a great thing for us. Like, you know, like we're bonding. Like I love that stuff. Like we were talking about like, you know, at a point in your life where you're like, yeah, it's fun to do restaurants and like have drinks, but it's like, I want to do stuff that's like, we're doing something together. Like honestly, like watching them do a battle rope. I'm like, look at you sweating. Like, you know, like I need that. Like, I'm like, this is so nice for me. And then again, the endorphins, you're instantly electric with each other. You're like, oh my God,
You
let's
guys are going
go.
to the NAC together. You're going to be NAC people.
We're NAC people now.
Way
Yeah.
different experience.
It's different. And you know what? I have to say, I was really nervous about people, like even people working there being pretentious. Shout out to the NAC. The people have been very kind. Like even I get a free facial next week and I was like a little intimidated walking over to that facial area. And no, the girls were so nice and I wasn't expecting it. And I know that's a little, you know, what's it, profile-y? Like I was definitely profiling the NAC folk, but like people have been very kind and like not pretentious the way that I thought they were going to be.
I mean, there's a difference between Yardley people and Newtown people, 100%.
Oh, and I can say that because I worked at a lot of Yardley restaurants. Well, not a lot. I worked at the Vault for a long time, and it was a great time.
I worked at one.
Yeah, I worked at one. I worked at all of them. Like, did I work anywhere else? No, that was it. But then
Right.
I worked at the Greystone for a very short period. People, very wealthy, very, very moody. Not like they did not take my personality well. Like in Yardley, I was taken great. Like people would cry. Like I had women crying sometimes. Like I had great times. Went to the Greystone. I'd be like, hi. Like they didn't think I was cute or funny.
See,
like
I always
at all.
compare it like Yardley's similar, and not like this is even true, but
No,
Yardley's
yeah.
old money, Newtown's like more new money. So
Yeah.
Yardley's like a little bit calmer. People are like more like they're kind of more sure of themselves. And in Newtown, you have these kids with these parents' credit cards, like driving around in
Yeah.
cars that they didn't work for and all this stuff. So, and it's just it always seems like I don't want to
different.
talk shit.
No,
on Newtown 'cause
yeah,
I
like
pretty
my
much
bad.
live here.
No, it's a great town.
But
Like, ugh.
There seems to be I don't know, like the couples are always hiding a secret.
Something's
Like,
going
you
on.
know?
I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm taken pretty well. Like at most, but even like fancy places, people are like, oh, she's kind of cute and annoying. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's like excited, like excitement,
They
whatever.
pat you on the head.
Yeah, they're like, she's so cute. She's like a happy little dog and she's not calming down actually at all yet. But yeah, not there. I was like, I can't work here. I'm like, because I was doing it for fun. Like I didn't have to work there. My friend Shane, have you ever met Shane?
Shane McCune.
Yeah. Okay.
But I
Shane's
know who he
amazing.
is.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's super, super talented and very interesting as well. You should chat with him sometime.
Okay.
Just his story is cool too. And very self-made. To shout out Shane. He is in a band now and rocking it, and his voice is so amazing. He's like my brother, literally lived with us when we were kids, blah, blah, blah. His voice has changed so much. So your voice really is like a muscle and you can work it out, which is so cool to know because I used to watch him back in the day and it was, sorry, bro, it was like not great. He's like really talented now. So he like worked super
Like his
hard.
voice is different?
Yes.
I don't want to
Like
compare
he
him to someone,
can,
but go ahead.
like, yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. Yeah. So honestly, it's just crazy because you got to work that baby out, you know?
I wish I could sing.
Oh, singing.
And maybe I could. I just haven't started yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know who Rosalia is?
No, who's that?
You don't know who
Wait,
Rosalia
maybe.
is?
I sometimes am bad with names.
Oh, I think she's the greatest Latin artist to ever exist, and I think she'll go down as that because
Yeah?
she can do reggaeton, but she can also do this classic Latin. And I talk about her all the time on this, and
Oh.
I think it's gonna sound weird, but she went on like Latin's Got Talent, one of those countries. I don't know what it was. Horrible, sounded terrible. It's very flat, very stiff. Well, not. And now she's singing like opera. But she's also does her reggaeton and all this. But her new album is incredible. She does like a reggaeton album, then she does a classic Latin, then she does a reggaeton, and now it's like classic Latin again.
Okay.
But she's
love
from
it.
Spain, so it's this amazing voice, and she sings in 8 different languages now on the album. And she's doing like Portuguese, Ukrainian, English, Spanish, French, German, Italian, and something else. But it's
Unreal.
so
Yeah,
she
you'll have to
learned all these.
send me her.
Oh, she is
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, it's crazy what you can actually do. And also that brings me to like when you actually like something. Because I remember thinking like, and it's probably my only insecurity. I don't have a lot. And I'm not in a cocky way. I'm just like, I'm really content. Like I just like, even like, I have a lot of fun by myself. I think that's important too. Like going back to when I was 18, like I had pure contentment sitting down by the water for hours by myself. I mean, I didn't need anything else. I would smile at the river. I talked to God. I'm like, man, things
Yeah.
are cool. I made a little hippie thing in the back of my car at one point, and like my parents were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm gonna go sit by the river. I had like incense back there and like made this great thing in my little Ford Escape. Betty White, her name was. And it was great. But I mean, I spent a lot of time alone, and I feel like that was I'm happier now. I love my family, but like I was my happiest, and like I was being present and with yourself. And actually, it's something that I was just talking to someone yesterday that I need to get back to that. I feel like
Maybe
obviously,
you're not by yourself though.
right. I mean,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Well,
Like,
that's
maybe there is a God there. sitting
well,
with you.
exactly for sure.
Like,
For
that's
sure.
who you're actually sitting with. You're
No, it
just
really is, right?
And if you believe that you were created in His own image and likeness, not saying you're omnipotent, but
Yeah.
then you're right there with Him.
And that's seriously it, right? Because I never felt alone. I always felt like so
Yeah.
completely at joy and peace. And just peace that was unmatched. And I was saying yesterday to my friend that obviously things are different. I'm older now. There's bills, there's business, there's children, there's husbands, and there's things. But I'm like, I really need to get back to like spending at least an hour a day of just like phone away, like that. Don't get me on the phone addiction stuff, because I don't say it to be a hater. Like I'm also addicted to my phone, but I realized that like it's such a problem that like I don't think I've done that in so long that like I would go. I'll never forget because my sister can vouch on this one. She was doing my taxes for me. I have 2 big sisters who are 8 and 9 years older than me, and my sister Nicole called me, and I'm like, "Hey, is this gonna take long? Like I'm about to turn my phone off and like sit by the door." She's like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" She's like, "I'm doing your taxes. Like don't turn your phone off." I'm like, I gotta shut it off. Like, I just gotta go. Like, you know what I mean? And I would do that. But again, like, I had so much peace because I really, like, I could do that now, but I just don't know if I could still my mind as good as I could before. And I know that what I need to do that. And that's, for me, being in the Word of God and setting aside the time now. Because also, I was single. I was alone. I had the time to do that. Now it's like, as a mom, you really have to set aside the time to do it. Because if not, I'm good. I can stay pretty leveled. But, like, I know even the happiness and the peace that I would have if I start setting out at least an hour a day to just sit in the Word, put on music, just stare at my tree, find a new tree that I love. My husband's like, stop driving all the way to Bristol for the tree. Like, we live in Yardley. And I'm like, that
maybe the tree misses you.
dude. I'm like, it's that tree. Like, he makes fun of me. And that's one thing, too, about when you find your spouse. Someone who really lets you be you. Like, he calls me and he's like, "You're in Bristol. Like, you drove all the way to Bristol for coffee." Like,
No, I'm not.
I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm on my way." And he's like, "How long really?" I'm like, "Half hour." Like, he knows where I'm at. As soon as he goes, he's like, "You went to get a coffee and you sat on a bench." And I'm like, "I did."
But my favorite
You
part
know?
about probably, and I love talking about this. One of my favorite parts about doing this is no one touches their phone for 2 hours while we
I
sit here and
love
talk.
that.
It's so I didn't realize it for
And then
episodes
it's
of
so
doing this.
refreshing.
And other people will sit there and be like, I didn't take out my phone. Every note, like sometimes they'll like see a notification, they put it right down. But there is a freedom in just
No.
sitting here for 2 hours and
So
talking to somebody and
special.
just going, I didn't get that little dopamine hit by
No,
picking
and
up my
it's
phone. Or,
so bad. And even like, oh, you know what I was looking? Don't you wish there was like dancing places to go to like back in the day of like just
okay,
a
so
way
I
to
have a thing with
connect?
this.
Like, we need this.
There was this place I lived in St. Augustine, Florida for like 5 years, and there was this Cuban place
Oh,
that was probably like a half mile from my house, and I lived in the downtown area. You walked everywhere, biked everywhere, and I used to love going there. And this is probably why I love Latin music now. I was like 20 years old, 21 years old, and I'd walk over to this place. I don't even remember what the name of it was. I'll think of it. But every night they'd close. It was a restaurant, and then they would close at like 10 or 11, and they would just turn into like a little dancing place.
magic.
And I know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
And
Who cares?
but I didn't- sometimes I would go and I would just wouldn't dance, but it was just like I would maybe move a little bit,
Yeah.
but I loved it.
So
And you don't really find
special.
places like that anymore. Now it's just a bar.
It's a bar, and I like think it's so sad. We really need more third spaces that aren't like, oh, look, they have to be like. I just feel like we really need third spaces,
What's a third space?
like
Like
a third place
lounge or
that
like a-
isn't, yeah, that isn't a bar. It's like the only place you know, when I think about, and maybe I'm just not good at it because I'm still learning the whole game of it. Like, what are better date options or better ways to go sit with people who like, like I remember my ex-boyfriend, his idea for Pretty Word was like to have people reading papers in there. And I'm like, oh, what a dream.
That's nice.
It was such a cool dream, but people like shoot that down because like people won't be like that. But that was like his initial, like, I remember him being like, how cool would it be
To have a
if
lounge.
this was like, like phones are kind of like down. It's not even just like a workplace. It's like where you go to like, it's such a having paper in your hand, conversing with other people. I mean, I don't have the problem. I feel like and that's being open, right? And being vulnerable. Like I meet magical people every day that I'm like
Same.
instant soul connections that like it's so deep. And I'm like, what the heck?
Well, that's why I love doing this. This is I think human beings are the greatest source of like information, but not just like information because everyone has a story or someone's read a book that I haven't read or something like that, and I'd love to talk to them about it. But it sounds weird to some as a male, but like I love the emotional part of it,
It's so
and like
sweet.
sitting there and like hearing somebody talk about something, and then I can like kind of like let me dig a
Yeah.
little bit more out of them.
And it's not
Oh,
as a
it's
male. It's
so
so
nice.
attractive as a male. It's
But
amazing.
It's nice to like let them get it out a little bit and not shut it down, and not
No.
and it is fun to watch emotion come out of somebody.
It's so special.
Even when they get a little bit angry, and then I try not to match it because if I match
Yeah.
it, then I don't really know where they're gonna go with the next, and they keep going with this one. I'm like, I don't want no. So I just try to,
Yeah.
remain calm with if they get a little more angry or upset than but like I don't consider anger like bad, right?
No.
Well, sometimes I do, right?
Yeah,
But
sometimes it can
if
be.
I'm watching somebody else get a little bit angry, I kind of find it fascinating. Why
Yeah.
are you getting like? What's the primary emotion behind this? Because that's a secondary
Well,
one, right?
I feel like in something I read, and I always thought it was so true for maybe not all, but for a lot, that anger really stems from pain of like a way.
fear.
Yeah, it stems from because like when you think about most of it, it's anger or fear. Like
There's a lot of it right now,
I know
and people want to be.
they
angry.
want to
It's-
be.
Well, I think they don't know what they're
Mm-hmm.
feeling, so they want to feel something, and that's why there's a lot of groupthink going on right now in a not a very positive way.
No.
And there is kind of a resurgence of trying to find God again or religion or whatnot.
Yeah.
But then there's that opposite, and there's that groupthink of trying to go anti all of this right now.
Anti everything.
And people, there's not much fence anymore.
Which is
It's
so
either you
sad.
got to choose this side or you got to
Yep.
choose this side, because people are just so confused.
It's so sad because
They don't know their emotions.
No, they don't know, and it's it's so
We don't teach that.
no.
We're not taught to deal with our emotions. We're taught to just keep moving forward.
Move it forward.
We're too
keep
fast.
pushing. We're so fast.
And the fast is, I honestly think it's slowing us down. It's
Yeah.
slowing down the humans. It's slowing us down emotionally.
Yeah.
But it's speeding us up in a direction that you just got to keep getting there. You don't know when you're getting there or why you're getting there,
know.
and you're never actually going to get there. That's the
No,
crazy
that's
part.
it. Never. Yeah.
But we got to get you there. And it's like, whoa, can I just slow down and feel what the hell I'm feeling right now for a
No,
little
I
bit?
know.
And that's kind of non-existent. Or,
Yeah.
they go to the drink or they go to the drug. And I did that too, where, because it was my break to get away to actually feel a little bit. And I think that's
Yeah.
why I drank a lot. It was because once I would drink, it would allow me to hit some emotions.
Yeah. No, and
And
a lot of people, it's like the norm, and I get it. I always like when I drink, I'm like trying to think of why. I mean, it's because you get a little for a while, and actually because I'm I like to sing too. When I was pregnant with my daughter Hunter, that was the first time I sang sober at a bar, and I did that solely because I was like, I can't only sing when I'm drinking 3 martinis to get out there. I was like, I need to be brave, and I need to do this for my daughter, and like getting up there, like being very pregnant with her, I was so scared. But now I'm getting so much better at it. And even still, like after all these years, she's 3.5, but like I'm like, I don't need to drink to get up to have like, and that was something I was super intentional about the minute I got pregnant with her, that like I was like, I mean, I only would say I'd have to drink, and honestly I didn't sound better when I was drinking, because I would be like, oh, I just get kind of sloppy, and not like for other people to probably notice, but like I noticed, and I'm like, I know how good that I could have been, but I took the edge off way too hard. It wasn't like I was having like 1 martini. I'm like, I'm gonna have
you're like
3,
over the edge.
like because I'm terrified. And now it's like it's so funny. Seth, his mom is the most lovely human being, and she has this little church in Hamilton that she's trying to revive. It was like Seth's great grandmother's church. And last year I was like, let me sing a song in this hunky little Christmas service that she does. I mean, so hunky. Like Seth's like, dude, like, look, it's not what you think. And I'm like, it's gonna be exactly what I think. And it was. It was just so hunky and goofy and just a church for the people. Like just funny. Like Lily's up there restarting the piano, that's Seth's mom. And it was just so comical. But I remember getting up there. I brought my own mic, I brought my own machine, and I was so terrified. And I was like, I have to restart and like blah blah blah. But this year I did it again. And I went and I practiced, and like I just like I feel like I like a borderline. I kind of nailed it, and it was sober, and I felt so good to like do these things. And I'm like, oh my god, I have to keep doing this. Like my daughter was there watching, and I'm like, because if you have something, like I feel like my whole life I was scared to share it, right? And it's like we're scared to share these things. Like it's such a vulnerable thing to have people staring at you while you're
It's
doing
scary.
something. I mean, it's so vulnerable. And it's always funny to me because I'm not a shy person, but when I sing, I'm so shy and I'm so personalityless up there. Like I could get up and chat and I'm like, la, 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 la. If you give me my mic when I'm singing, I'm just like stiff as a board. Like I'm not like, you would think that I'd be able to work a crowd, but I don't. Like I literally am so uncomfortable up there still, but I'm hoping that's something that I can work through. And I started learning guitar, so I've been doing that.
Wait,
I
what
think,
song did you sing when you were in church?
oh, Holy Night.
Oh,
And
okay.
it
So
was
it's
like,
Christmas.
it was Christmas, and it was so great. It was like, I really nailed it. It was like really great. I was very proud
I
of
really
myself.
nailed it. Well, that's one thing you have to do.
And
You got to tell yourself you did a
do
good
it.
job.
And I like really and it's funny too because I usually don't practice at all because it like psychs me out, which I realize is it's not the best idea. Like you should practice on the track because I'm like I forgot the lyrics, like and
Oh,
like like
okay.
I literally am the kind of nervous person, like I forget, like I'll just be like everyone's looking and now I don't know any
Did you
of the words.
remember?
I remembered and I did have my thing up there, like I had a little thing, but no one knew I was reading from my phone. It looked like I was reading from a music sheet. I was like, not that anyone cared. They were the cutest little old people, and they were just like, and then you have to think of it too. Again, when you stop thinking about self, think of how I'm blessing everyone else here, right? That like, no, I'm not Mariah Carey, but like no one else is singing here, and to bless them with this song, and particularly to bless, we call her Mum Lily because she's like a mum to my little girl, and like it meant so much to her to have me sing there, and it was like when you stop thinking about like this is about me and how I want to sound, how I want to be portrayed, it's like I'm doing this for Lily and I just want to have fun, and it made it so much lighter and it was so fun, and I can't wait for next year because we're gonna revive this church, by the way.
That's a nice thing to hear, though. That you're
Yeah.
gonna that if you get out of self, everything is just. If
Yeah.
it's weird, I chaired a meeting this morning, and that's exactly what I talked about. I was always taught if I'm feeling a little anxious or I'm feeling a little selfish, I need to go help somebody else out, or I need to go do something for
Yeah.
somebody, and then my life is
great
usually just a
advice.
little bit better.
Yeah. Such great advice, right? It's like,
Yeah, but if I look at it like that, like if I'm going up there and I'm thinking this thinking's about me, especially in the church, I mean, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But you're there
Yeah.
to probably, hopefully, lift up somebody's spirits. I
Yeah.
can't lift up everybody's,
Right.
but if I can lift up one, I did it. And honestly, if I lifted up myself, that's kind of okay too,
pretty
because then
cool.
the rest of my day is going to be guided towards making probably better decisions,
Yeah.
or every other person I, interact with is probably going to have a pretty good experience with me as well. And that's a big thing. I try to make sure that I'm not perfect at it, but if everyone who interacts with me throughout the day has a good experience, I kind of did a good job for the day.
And I love you said, because there was this one quote that I love, and it's like, every time that you meet somebody, is their life better or worse for having met you? And I think that's such a great way to think about it and to live your life. Because if everyone was doing that, imagine like, ugh. And so also, I do feel like a lot of people do that. I feel like if you go on the news, when you go on social media, people think, I'm sorry, I don't think we're as divided as like, I get it.
No way.
You're just putting out super negative stuff. I live every day. Maybe I'm not as well traveled, but like anywhere, any small town I go to, like I have a lot of friends who we have very different like beliefs, but we have such respect and love. And I mean, I experience that like every single day of my life.
Yeah.
So to act like no one is doing that and that it's like as bad as it is, I'm like, this is because we're not supposed to. And also controversial because people are like, you have to care. I don't think you should care, but I also I think God is the only person who can grasp and have every bad thing in their soul like that. Like we aren't meant to know all of this. Like
I love
we're not meant to. We don't have the capacity. It's not healthy. It's not for us.
There's this thing where a person, this was even like up to 100 years ago, they only knew what was going on within like a 3 mile radius of where they grew up.
Yeah.
Now we're inundated constantly with what's going on around the world, what's going around every city in the United States. I don't think human beings can grasp that. It's not good. And then people like to take that information and regurgitate it and parrot it out. And I'm going, why are you telling me this? I really don't care. I don't want to care, but like you want me to care. And I stopped caring. I've cared less.
Yeah. And then people are like, well, you're bad for not caring. You're like, no. And it's not even like I'm protecting a peace. It's that like, at the end of the day, like really, what are you going to do? And the only thing that you can do is love your neighbor. And I really think that's all you can do is like, and volunteer where you can like, do things that you can do, but like just rewatching like awful things on your phone and like watching who's been, doing this and doing that. And like, it's just very sad because I watch, even like people in my family, like I love my dad to death. And same with him. Like, I'm like, Fred, you gotta stop posting. Like, also, it's so unattractive. You know what I mean? Like,
posting political shit.
Oh my God, yeah. And it's so funny because him and my neighbor, like, I love my neighbor to death. And I mean, I love everybody. It's fine. It's just funny because I always watch my neighbor. He's like my greatest neighbor. He's like my dad who takes care of me when my dad's not around. He like gets the snow off my car. He's just the best, But I watch him and my dad, and they're not like fighting. They're pretty respectful. But I'm like, man, you guys are retired and you have too much time to be writing paragraphs to each other about this stuff.
When I was 2020 pushed me into politics in a way that I didn't think I would ever get pushed into politics. And I've fallen away from that, thankfully, thank God. But like I wonder when I was regurgitating these things as well, like whose interest am I truly serving right now? I thought it was mine. Yeah. And it would bring some people closer to me and other people completely the opposite direction. And I was okay with it. I'd be like, well, good.
Yeah.
We don't align. Yeah. And then, but it would just block out this. But I did like some of the stuff about that person. Yeah. And now I don't talk to them anymore.
No, you're blocking out love.
But they also would do the same back to me. And there's one woman I can think of that, I won't say her name, but I really enjoyed the type of human being she was, but then we weren't aligned politically, and there was just that whole polarization of politics during that time that I don't really talk to her anymore. And I think there is that still little twitch that I can't fix because I don't know. I stepped away from it. She's still pretty into it.
Yeah,
but
you have to. I feel like too. I was a little, but even too. Then it's like I try to always remind myself of like Christ's love, right? That like. Everyone, obviously, even speaking of God, is so controversial for people, which is so sad. That breaks my heart because I, when I was 18, really found God. And I grew up in a Catholic house, went to CCD, made all my sacraments, but my parents were very lovely. I really never was, like, they didn't force anything, but my parents were great people and total sinners. I mean, like my parents like, woo, like Friday nights, my dad's like, F this, F that, but like my dad, loved people. I always watched my dad treat people really good. I watched my mom, my parents were great. And it was never like forced. So honestly, I'm kind of the black sheep right now in my family. Like like my sister calls me a Bible thumper, right? Like, and I'm fine with it. Like, it's like we have sisters, we bust each other's chops, but mostly they bust mine. But it's fine with me. But again, it was like I wasn't always like that. Like I think it's really special because I think it's important because I definitely like the idea of laying a foundation, right? So like my daughter's in Christian school and I love it. I think it's so sweet. And even before she started, she goes to school just 2 days a week. I was always praying with her. And every night we say the same prayer. And now she knows her own thing and she'll start praying the most beautiful prayers. And it's amazing. But every single night, I have the same prayer that dear God, thank you for all of our blessings. Thank you for another day here on earth together. We are just so grateful that we got to be here another day together.
No, it's gratitude.
To love and gratitude. And that's like, I have friends who don't believe. And I remember we were all having dinner and my girlfriend Cassie's like, we got to say grace. Like real Catholic, so adorable. Love her. But I was like, hey, like we will pray, but also if you don't pray, like this is a moment of gratitude. Like don't take it to like it's a bad, you know what I mean? Because I think too, like leaving people that openness to feel it. Because when you feel Christ's love and when you feel that love from your friend, like that, they don't even realize that like I have a friend who, she's an atheist and that is totally fine with me, whatever she wants to do, right? And I love her to death and she loves me and respects me and loves my relationship with God, loves my daughter praying. I mean, I'll never forget, I was putting my daughter to bed and I'm like, come upstairs, we're going to put her to bed really quick because she was little and I just prayed over her really quick because it's something I do all the time. It wasn't like a show for them. It was like I pray over her every single night. And my friend who's atheist was like literally tearing up and crying because it's like she was feeling that. Like, wow, like maybe it won't be prayer that I'm doing with my daughter, but like taking a moment to like really just like thank God and thank, whatever you're at right now too, because I wasn't always, it started at God. And now for me, like I do believe, like Jesus is my Lord and Savior. And that's something that like, cause I studied it, I read it and now it makes sense to me, but that wasn't something that I was always at. And I think that's what's sad in the world right now is like the shoving of it with people. Like you got to let people at least feel and meet people who show them that love. Because when you're just telling someone like, this is what you got to believe because I told you, everyone wants to rebel. That's just like human nature and why we have sin nature in us. Like every time you tell me to do something, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Have you watched that TV show, The Chosen?
Oh my God. I only watched a little and it's so powerful. I have to watch it because it actually helped me a lot because the Bible's really confusing actually. Like I'm like openly as a Christian admit like
controversial.
It's like, well, it's just hard to follow because if you don't like, I didn't grow up reading the Bible. So like I can read some of the stuff. I love reading a psalm and now I'll get my guitar and try and sing some psalms and it's really cool because a lot of them are like beautiful songs, but it can be like I have to get into more Bible studies because it's like it's hard to learn it all. It's why you're supposed to go to church because like when you're not, I'm like I'm a little confused and I don't want to be confused, but I want to learn more.
So The Chosen, I watched. I went through it, watched it. I remember my buddy Matt who lives here. I was sitting outside, and there's a TV outside, and I turned it on, and he walks outside, and I was like, and I just turned it off really quick. And he's like, no, what were we watching? I was like, it's this show about Jesus. I don't really know. And he's like, all right, let's just see what it's about. I mean, every episode I felt this sense of calm and this peace afterwards to a point that we just binge watched the show, and it was incredible. And I tell my mom about it. I was like, hey, you should watch it. So I started watching it with her, and I don't know how far you got into it, but at the end of the first season, Jesus shows up. Or at the end of the first episode, Jesus shows up for like a second. Yeah. Then he shows up again at the end of the second episode. And then he really starts coming in at episode 3. But when I saw him at the end of episode 1, it felt like I was seeing a friend.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the guy who plays him
is amazing. He's so
good.
amazing. He's so amazing.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing. And it's actually like, I want to get back into it because it really kind of helped me. Because also, I told you, I'm pretty type B. So like I have to be super into like certain things to like follow, like, or also like, honestly, I'm super high energy. So I think my comprehension sometimes can get like I'm reading it and I get it. And then I'm like, what did I just read? Because that's
Yeah.
like my personality. So it helped me like understand. Like I actually was like, oh my God, I read this Bible verse and now they're doing it in the show. And it was super helpful
Oh, it
to
taught me a lot.
understand, you know, like it's really great show.
How far did you get?
Not that far, like at all. Like I watched a couple and like weeped and cried because it's always beautiful because I'm always floored by God's love. And I mean, and like the mercy in my life and just, I mean, I feel it just every day that I wake up. Like I'm like, that was enough for me to know that you love me and that you give me another day with my family. And it's like, ugh.
Well, there's a
being
calm
here.
too when like something good happens in my life instead of and I try to teach this anybody, like any of my sponsees or other people that I help in AA and stuff. Because I can talk to them about it because I address it pretty early on. But when something good happens in my life, someone will, hey, really good job. In my mind, I go, no, thank God.
Yeah.
That's what I have to do first.
That.
Like
So
there
sweet.
is something
Yeah.
that I need to do with that. Or like a couple buddies now who are going through sobriety and whatnot. When something good happens in their life, my sponsor instilled this in me. I tell them, I say, hey, just make sure you thank God for that one, all right? Like don't say that you did it. You can say, you played your part in it, but just there's something really nice if you just thank God for it, okay?
No, it
and
is.
like, because it's weird for me to even say that to somebody. So I'm like, hey, I know this sounds weird, but just make sure you do that, okay?
No, thank God.
And it'll be okay.
And it is. It's so real.
Yeah.
And it's, you could feel it when you really let yourself feel it. And for me too, like, so that was like when I was 18, definitely always, I had my experience with God down by the river. And that's when I knew, and I always knew, I always had something in me. But then there was that. Then it was the birth of my daughter. That was just absolutely supernatural. It's knowing that, I mean, God, our bodies are so made. Like it doesn't make any sense, really. And it doesn't make sense because it's like he made you that perfect, that our bodies know everything. I mean, the fact that we produce milk, the fact that everything is so, I mean, it only makes sense that there is a God who made you perfect because it's like I tried to go down other ways and I'm like, this is God.
Well, he's a divine architect.
Absolutely
sure.
all the things. And I had a natural birth of my daughter and it was absolutely, so like, didn't get there to the hospital till 9 centimeters. So I labored all day at my house and that was my plan. And I remember telling people that I was going to have a natural birth and
like no
drugs.
Shot?
Yeah, nothing. People are very unsupportive of that. And it's actually like,
my mother did it.
I think it is so
all natural except for the last one. So 6 of us,
amazing.
she went natural.
I'd love to chat with your mom. I just think it's the most incredible thing. And I think all birth is. This isn't like I love birth no matter how it happens because either way, God's hand's always on you and it's always there and happens the way that it's supposed to play out for you. But for me, the reason I wanted a natural birth is I remember I was in Florida and my husband, now husband, he was not there. And I was just like, let me get this out of my head. I was like 2 Cosmos in, like, and a weep and like totally did not like I was like, let me just get this out of my head. Let me take a pregnancy test. That baby came up so quick and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, wow, we were not trying, we were together like 2.5 years, which, it was just a lot. I was like, wow, okay. But, I ended up going home telling him. And I remember that night in Florida, I woke up in the middle of the night with the most intense fear through my body. Like, I mean, I woke up like thinking about childbirth. Like I was 5 weeks pregnant, like barely pregnant. And I had that much fear through my bones thinking about like a baby coming out of me. I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I find it
So I literally,
blows my mind still, but go ahead.
That was when so I'm a knowledge is power. So that was when I was like, I need to know everything about our bodies. I need to know why it's doing what it's doing. Like, and that was when I kind of went on I need to know everything. So I started researching birth like a maniac, like everything, like all the things. I remember telling my husband, I want to have a natural birth. And he like laughed at me and was like, kind of like really like not, he's like, you like cry when you stub your toe. And I'm like, all right, well, like I'm planning on doing this. And then when he saw how serious I was, because a lot of people like very unsupportive. Like I remember telling people, yeah, I'm going to try it. And they're like, yeah, right. Good luck. But then when I'm like, well, what did you do to prepare? They didn't do anything to prepare. If you are going to have a natural birth, it is something you really do have to prepare for. personally, like, it's like training for a marathon. I did a Christian hypnobirthing.
What
So
is that?
I literally, like, from 25, 26 weeks on, I listened to a 18-minute, like, hypnotizing, and I would go and sit on this bench and I would practice, like, the way that you would breathe with contractions with this, and it was just all these affirmations of God, of you were made perfect. Like, everything just so, like, I had to train my brain to know that I am safe, I'm made perfect, and so much more. I mean, but I did that every single day. I I did so much. I literally would practice breathing. Like, I mean, I did it every single day for, I mean, months. And when I knew and then it's really important to look up positive birth stories. So I was doing that. I was, putting myself in positions. Like, I was peeing backwards on the toilet for like the last month of pregnancy to like make sure it was opening my pelvis right. Like, I was like so all in. And I had a really amazing doula who was so spiritual. I think I was like one of her maybe first clients, and
A
she
birth
did it.
doula? Is that what
Yeah,
they
it was
are?
a birth doula, and she was so lovely, and she was so spiritual. And she, like, it was crazy what she had me and my husband do. I just thought it was very, very beautiful. She sat us down, and because it was her first time doing her doula services, so she wanted to kind of do it her way. And she was like, I want you and your husband to sit down, and I want you guys to write down like your biggest fears about this birth and like what could happen, because there is fear around birth, because it's natural and it's a safe thing, but there is also things, right? So it was so cool too to like, my husband definitely is more internal with his feelings. So like to even see him like open up and like talk about some of his fears, like it was really nice for me to hear his fears and also for him to hear mine. And like we actually had totally different fears, which is crazy. But then also just to work through that, which was so nice, because now it's like you get them out. We can work through this. We have a plan. But when I went into labor, it was just the most incredible thing. I remember crying the night before she came, because I was walking in town in Yardley, doing my thing, got my hypnobirth. I had headphones like this. Like, I had my big old headphones. I was like real pregnant. And people were so mean, because if you enjoy pregnancy, people just don't like that. Like, I loved being pregnant. I felt my best. I also like think it's because like, well, you're not drinking. Like, I felt incredible. Like, heaven sent. Thank you, Jesus. Like, I can't believe, like, I never felt more beautiful. Like, my skin was never brighter. Like, I felt so good. Like, this was something that was so natural for me to be doing, which I was very lucky to feel that way. But I remember walking, and these like people were wasted, and they're like, oh, and I knew I was having a little girl. I found out at 20 weeks, because my husband and I actually have a really weird, rare genetic thing called spinal muscular atrophy. So it's like a lack of a gene, which is, someone's like, you guys should play the lottery, because when I found out I was like a carrier for this gene, they were like, don't worry about it at all. Like, it's so rare. It's like 1% that your husband will match up on this with you. Well, the one person I decided to marry matched up on me with that. So now every time we have a baby, and every time we have a baby, there's now a 1 in 4 chance that our baby could be affected by this disease, which is a terrible disease. It is like absolutely terrible. I don't even like thinking about it. It's so bad. But at 20 weeks, they told me that, and I ended up getting an amnio done, and that's when I found out I was having a little girl, because I was like, I need to pray. I need to know who's here. Like, and I was shook. I could not believe I was having a little girl. I don't know why. I know it's 50-50, but I was so shook. But I also feel like that was God's hand on it too. Like, just knowing that I was having a little girl was actually really beneficial for me, because I remember too during birth just being like, towards the end where you're like getting her out, and I'm like, I remember talking to her, like, I was calling her Hunter from a very like almost instantly she was Hunter Grace, and that was her, and she is Hunter Grace. Like, she is so brave, so strong, super adorable and graceful too, but she is Hunter. Like, she is very proud of it too. Like, if we ever like ask her her name, she's like, I'm Hunter Grace Gordon. Like,
Oh,
she
nice.
is so into it. Like, if we're like, all right, like, should we call you like JoJo? And she's like, no, I am Hunter. We're like, all right. But
So you're
sorry,
walking
I
through
get tainted.
Yardley.
So walking through Yardley, these girls are like, just so you know, you're way too comfortable. You're gonna have to get induced.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And I really didn't want to get induced, because I knew that would like affect my birth plan. And I was like so upset. And then they were like, and by the way, you're having a boy. And I like knew I was having a girl, and I told you about some of the gender
Why do you think
stuff.
people do this? But
It
okay,
is
go
so,
ahead.
I don't know. Like, I realize that people are really, like, not as, like, I now know, like, and I'm always really grateful for the experiences because I'm like, I so know what not to say to people. So not a good feeling. Like, especially because people have feelings about everything. I was just like, man. So I remember doing my walk, came home, Seth and Jake were in the garage, and I am just weeping. I'm like, she's never gonna come. And like, they said I'm gonna have to get induced because I'm just so comfortable because I was really active. I walked, the hill, the fire hill in Yardley, walked that like every day. I was just
West College,
yeah, I was getting this baby out, I was feeling really good. And then that night, I'm like, God is all over it because I'm like, she knew, like, you needed to come. And I really wanted her to pick her birthday. That was something like, it was so special to me. I'm like, I didn't want to induce her. I know there's some reasons medically that people need to, but like, I didn't want to. I was only 4 days past my due date, and I just really, really wanted her to come. I'll never forget waking up in the middle of the night and feeling this contraction and being like, I instantly got out of bed, bathrooms make me feel safe. It's very weird. Like, I love my shower. Like, I take like 3 showers a day and like sit on the floor. I'm like, that's my zen in there. So I instantly like made a bed on the bathroom floor, like got all my candles lit, like was like, all right, it's going to be a long day of labor. Like, got to go back to bed. Hard to go back to bed because you're excited. And then again, instant fear because I was like, oh, I'm prepared for this, but like now it's happening and I'm going to push a baby out of my body today. So
it is like a marathon. I don't know if I can compare it
yeah.
at all because obviously I'll never give birth. But
No.
you do a lot of training, and then when that day comes, you're in line to go run this marathon.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
You're like, it's still here. Yeah, I'm about to do this.
Shit.
I'm going to do this, and it's going to be wild. So I remember laying there, and I got back to sleep like a little, and then at like 5:30, I woke Jake up. I'm like, she's going to come today. Like, she's coming today. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's going to be a long day. I got to eat right now because I'm probably not going to be able to eat later. Some people can eat. Some people don't eat, So he's like, all right. So we got up. I remember walking to Starbucks and I was being so annoyed. I'm like, I'm in labor right now. Like, I was just like telling her, I'm like, I'm having a contraction right now. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, yeah. So then we like went for a walk and I was like, all right, I need to go out on the boat. Like, I need to get my mind right. Like, I want to do my thing again, like listen to my Christian hypnobirth. Like, I need to make sure this is in my brain that like I'm safe, because that's the biggest thing. I think that's any like.
Wait, you went on a boat?
Yeah, it was early
what
labor.
They tell you you're supposed
early
to do?
labor. So early labor, you're good. Like, what you want to do in the beginning of birth is basically ignore it. Like, pretend it's not happening. What happens and why a lot of people do get induced, because the birthing industry, to me, also is a little corrupt.
Yeah, we can go into that.
We'll get into that. So, like, people have one contraction and then they go and then they're like, oh, and then they end up inducing you. But there's a lot of, they don't tell anybody, right? That's just how the medical industry is. They don't tell you the side effects of what could happen if we decide to do these things, right? It's just like, oh, well, you want to meet your baby, let's do this thing. And then there's things that can happen, right? But we'll get into that. So anyway, I go on this boat and I'm laboring out there. This was so magical. A bald eagle flies over and I'm instantly like, instant tears. I'm like, this is such a sign of strength. Like, thank you, God. Like, I needed that. Cause like, I'm doing my thing, but you're still like, all right, like, this is happening. This is going to happen. So, and then I remember Jake caught a fish and I was so happy for him. I was like, oh my God, like fish, eagles, this is great. So
Jesus, fish.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, hun, like, you don't need to come home right now. Like, just drop me off at the boat ramp. Like, I'm going to go lay it back down for a little bit because, like, at this point, it was, like, 8 something, and I had been up since 5, and I was like, it's time to, like, let me try and get some rest because it's going to amp up at some point. So I, like, drove myself home. I got myself down for, like, an hour for sleep. Woke back up, got real cute. Like, got myself some ugly, like, not ugly, like, cute, like, ugly-ish sheen dresses because I knew I was going to try and give birth in them, It's like, it might get ruined. But I want to look cute too. So like I have my hair in a braid. Like I was feeling it, put some lip gloss on. I was feeling alive. And I remember calling my sister-in-law and I was like, do you want me to come pick you up? Like you can come over. I was like, I'm in labor. It's going to be a long day. I remember driving. Like I drove to not too far from here, from Yardley, picked her up. And I remember the whole way I'm like, I'm having another contraction. Like I knew that it was happening. And I actually invited my whole family to come over. But then all of a sudden it amped up at like 3, 4. And I like told my family, like, don't come because they're all like anxious. So they're like, you need to go to the hospital. I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. Chilling. I'm going to ride these waves, do my thing. Call my doula because I'm like, I'm having trouble timing these contractions, blah, blah, blah. She comes over. She's like, women love my husband. Some men have a good touch. His touch was a little too much. I thank goodness for my doula. She had just the sweetest, most gentle hands and would just like put pressure on my back. And when my husband would try, I'd be like, all right, just back off, sir. Because he was also nervous and anxious, and it was very minimalistic, I feel, this birth, in the sense of like Jake was totally like a little lion, like circling, just like making sure she's cool, watching, like was very hands off, but was just like, and even when we did get to the hospital, like he made sure like no one was coming at me with nothing. Like if people were coming out, he's like, what are you doing? What are you touching her with? What's in that? Like he was very like, and you need that, because I would have been like, do whatever, because like you're not there anymore. Like there's a point in labor where heaven descends, I would say. And I think, I was talking to my midwives this time about it, I think your frontal lobe has to go down for you to do this. Like, because I was telling my midwife, I'm like, there was a part of the birth where I was there, but I wasn't there. It was like a brownout almost. Like I remember all of it, but it was, I think your brain kind of has to shut
It's just
down.
hormones shooting through
You have to, yeah. So I'll never forget too, my midwife. So it starts amping up.
So you had a doula and a midwife?
So I had midwife last time with Hunter. I had hospital midwives at Capital, which they were so lovely. Capital Health, shout out, so amazing. But I just had my doula there, and I'll never forget being like, I think it's like time to go, and she was like, I don't think so. I was like, all right. So like I pushed through more at home, and then I had this one contraction, and I had read about this contraction, and I was like, it's time to go. And I got in the car. Jake got me to Capitol, and it was so funny because I probably scared this pregnant woman, because I was like, I don't want to go in without you. I was like, go park the car. I'll wait right here. So I was like out front on this bench leaning over, and I was like mooing like a cow, like, ooh, like so aggressively on this bench, and not like scary. I wasn't like screaming. I was just like locked in. Like I was breathing through these things. And this other pregnant lady was like, people don't get to the hospital at 9 centimeters. You know what I mean? Like people are usually like settled in. Like this lady was probably like, she okay? So I remember walking in, I go to triage, and they are like trying to get me to fill out paperwork. And I'm like telling them, like, I had like 30 seconds of real Gina. Like that's the crazy thing about birth. When I wasn't in that contraction, totally this Gina could talk like this. Once it came back, I was not I wasn't on earth anymore. So I kept telling them my Thursday, I'm like, I'm in active labor. The baby's coming. I can't fill it out. Ooh. And they were like, all right, go ahead. So I got to skip all the paperwork, which was so epic.
Oh, nice.
So nice. I'm like,
Nice,
ugh,
Hunter.
never want to do that. Thank you. I remember going into triage, which is like the room before you give birth. And I instantly am like minimalistic on my hands and knees. Like I am pushing this baby out like a mammal. Like that was just where my body went, which again, controversial. Like people are like, you were on your hands and knees? That's like, no, because usually
Oh.
you're forced to like lay down, which super unnatural. Like my body did not once want to lay down like that. So I was there. She came in. She's like, I check you. And I'm like, very stern. Like after I get through this contraction, she goes to check and she's like, the head is right there. She's like, you were 9 centimeters. She's like, can you like come to this other room? And I was like, whatever you guys need me to do. I just got to get there. And then we went to the other room and I pushed for a little while and she was there. And I remember, because I have a birth video and like, them giving me to her. And it was like, I was so locked in. Like I looked like a crazy person. I was just so locked in staring at her. I couldn't believe she was there. And I remember being like, is it normal that she's crying? Like, of course it's normal. She just came to earth, from like literally heaven. Of course she's crying. She's like, I'm here now. And earth is scary. But it was the most incredible thing. And I was back. I was like normal. Like it was like that happened. I wasn't on
No
earth
pain.
anymore. And it's funny. I some people, like the real heavies are like, that felt good. It didn't feel good, but it wasn't something that like I always tell people like I'm psyched for the second baby, but I'm kind of more psyched for the birth. Like I'm actually having a home birth this time.
Wait, like you want to go through the experience again?
It was because I never felt so. It was electric. It was just the most intense, cool experience, and I never felt more strong. Like I have the birth video from the doula, and I'm like, this is so weird to say, but I'm like, I feel beautiful in that video, and that's weird because I'm like, I should like. It was like it's just the weirdest thing. Like it just was. It was a high you can't even explain. It was like, it was done. And I remember I had this really cute nightgown after, and I put it on acting like I just didn't give birth. And I was like, oh wait, actually I'm bleeding. Like let me have one of those shitty ones. Like because I felt so normal. And that's what else is really cool. Like a lot of people, when you experience like this, it's like you feel pretty damn good. Like a lot of the time you can't even get up after birth, right? Like you have an epidural, you have all this stuff, like you can't even move. And that's the other thing. No judgment on the epidural. I had more fear of not feeling my body. Like that's something, like I'm such a intuitive person with my body that like the idea of someone numbing me and not feeling my legs gives me like it makes me so anxious to even think about that. So like I always pray that my birth will go, because every birth is different, and I'm very aware of that, of life, things happen, and everything's in God's hands. But that would be really hard for me. Like if something happened and I had to get Pitocin, or that would be like it would like I would be terrified and very, very scared. Like as opposed to like I'm excited to give birth at my house and I'm not scared. Like I'm really looking forward to it. I cannot wait to get in bed with my little baby and my other baby. Like the idea that my daughter is going to be able to watch and experience this, that like bringing life into the world doesn't have to be scary. And I think the way we come into this world matters. Like coming in with so much fear and all these, because a lot of it is, and it's because we kind of put that on women. That like we should be scared. Birth is so dangerous, but like you hear that from such a young age that like it's really the
You think we
United.
hear birth is dangerous at a young age now?
Yeah,
I think
and
it used to be.
Yeah, and the United States in general, like we have the highest infant mortality rate and mothers dying at birth.
And why do you think that is?
Because we've over medicalized, I think. Because a lot in Europe, a lot of people do free birth a lot, which is like another term for natural birth. I think there's just things too, because I have 3 friends, and
You think we just try to
I think
eliminate
it's-
pain in America? Eliminate discomfort?
anything hard. And I also think that they do stuff because they're trying to avoid like lawsuit. Like I think they think they're helping, and also I don't know if it's just a lack of education. Like I don't know what it is, but I have 3 friends, and it breaks my heart. And they're fine; their babies are perfect, but they all have the same birth story, and it all starts the same, and they all ended in emergency C-sections, and it's pretty traumatizing for people. Like having to be rushed out that, hey, your baby's heart rate just dropped and you're rushing into an OR now and your husband can't even think. Like it's a really bad experience. And that happens in the United States like a lot.
All the time.
And it's very sad because then people look at me and they're like, that is reckless to give birth at your house. And I'm like, statistically speaking, I'm actually safer than being in the hospital. Like I weighed the risks too. Like I'm really close to Capitol Health. Like I'm not naive to the fact that things happen. But a lot of women who are, especially my age, you're 28 years old, like your body can do this. And whether or not even a pain thing, like I don't think people realize that, like, again, like God really made us divine. Like it blocks. Like I'm telling you, it was the most incredible experience. And I cannot wait to give birth at my house.
You're going to do it at your house this time?
Yeah. I'm using amazing midwife. They're amazing. And yeah, I'm going to have a home birth. I'm going to have a pool. I'm so excited.
Are you doing it in a pool?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Wait, they bring a pool?
They bring a pool.
Okay.
My husband is like,
don't do it in your backyard.
yeah,
Like,
no,
cool.
my husband is like so concerned with the pool. He's like, whoa, what if the pool leaks? I'm like, why you don't ask silly questions? He's like, I'm just saying. He's like, could ruin our floor. I'm like, okay, well, we'll be fine.
Oh, the pool comes in the house.
The
not
pool
outside.
comes in the house, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Although I'm like, that'd be pretty cool if I could have it on the deck. But just because it's July, and I'm like, I will be feeling it.
There's fireworks going on.
Yeah, I'm like, happy 4th. But it's going to be amazing. And again, I do get so sad because, again, I hear everyone tells me the same birth story, like word for word. Like I have people tell me the same birth story word for word. And I never say stuff because I don't think it's not a nice thing. I don't like, you know what I mean? Like I would never be like, well, that's because they intervened too quick and,
I mean, their experience is their experience. Yours is
and that's why
yours,
you just accept. You just listen, and that's the thing too I've learned sometimes you're just not meant, like you're just meant to listen. It's their birth story and you listen. But
absolutely.
I think like my midwives who I'm working with now, they're always like, you would be so incredible at this. And I'm like, maybe I'll start with just doing some doula services eventually. But like I love the idea that people would have more empowering births, that like they could feel the way that I felt and not feel like their birth was not in their hands. Because I felt like I had my hand on it, God's hand on it, and that was it. And I felt so respected. Like when my midwife came in when I got to the hospital, she literally turned, went like this, and was just like, push when you're ready. Like there was no coaching. It was like my body was going to do what it was going to do. Like I never pushed. My body pushed itself.
Oh wow.
Like we have something called the fetal rejection. Like it's like throwing up. It's like it's going to happen and
Oh,
there's
shit.
no stopping it. So it just, and the more I learn about birth and just the, I just can't even imagine. It's just insane. The more I learn about it, it's just what our bodies really do to protect us. Like in a birthing pool, there's like, the head usually comes out first. That baby is safe under there. Like a lot of people are like, is he under there too long? He's not. Like he's safe down there. And like your body actually will stop sometimes when the head comes out. Because I remember it happening to me now after researching. I was like, wow, that happened to me. Because I remember pushing and her head came out. And that was the only time the midwife was like, hey, like, I need another push. But my body wasn't doing it. But then it happened. But like, that was the only time she was like, hey, like, if we can do it now. But I remember being like, it took a second. Because apparently that's like, I was just reading something. That's like, our body was designed to do that. I was like, it knows it's the last one. It's coming. It's giving you the break you need to like get that baby out. And also, my daughter had her cord around her neck, which again is also not as dangerous as people really think, right? Like I was at home until 9 centimeters. If I was at the hospital, like you just never know. There's so much, like if they hear one thing or it instantly leads to like, you have to take this down, and that's why it's super cool working with midwives because they're so respectful, but they're also not neglectful and they're not crazy. Like if you have to transfer to the hospital for a medical, they're going to do that. They're not going to be like, well, let's just stick this out because it's what you want. Like they know when it's time to say, we need to get you somewhere
How did
where
you
they
find a
do
midwife?
that. I just looked these ones up, but they are so cool. They are in Pennington and just looked up midwives.
There's a group of them.
It's 2 of them who do this,
Oh.
but these midwives are so cool. They've
I
been
just picture like 5 midwives in one house.
so cute. I
Together,
literally
just
love it. And
talking
they're
about
such
pregnancy.
no, and it's so funny because it's so different than going to like, I would go to like Capitol Health for my appointments. I tell my husband not to come now because like, right now it's just like listening to the baby's heart rate. But I'm like, literally we chat for so long. Like it's not like I'm not like a number to them. Like I'm not like, oh, in and out, like 2 minutes. Like we will sit there and talk so deeply.
Wait, are these midwives at Capitol Health?
So no, they have their own practice, but what's so cool about these midwives, and if anyone is ever wanting this, they actually have hospital privileges at Capitol. They work hand in hand with Capitol Health, which is so cool because God forbid in the event of a transfer, they would still be my doctor. Where, a lot of the times if you have a midwife, like you get there and your midwives are out and now some random doctor would be your doctor. So it's super cool they are able to kind of travel with you. They actually are midwives that will birth with you at a hospital too. Like you can hire them. And another reason I'm having the baby at the house is I am off regular insurance. I think it's such BS. It's such a scam. And I use something called Crowd Health, which is so amazing, by the way. And it's like, where your money's going and you know who you're helping. And like, it's this thing where like you have your bills, blah, blah, blah. Like my birth, is going to cost me $7,900. And I'm liable for $3,000 of that. The rest will be crowdfunded, and then I will get all that money back.
Where's this crowdfunding coming from?
Like real people, like people like you and me. Like if you have, like I have to approve. Like I'll get a notification and it'll say, hey, Sally Mae in Virginia had a car accident and needs this bill paid. Are you willing to crowdfund $74 this month? And I always say yes.
I never knew this existed.
It is so neat. And I was actually nervous because I never had to use it because if I do stuff, I'm not going to use it unless I have something major, which I recently had some things, which will then bring us back to the sobriety thing and something that I think was spiritual for me. But I had a seizure like a year ago. And I obviously had like, my husband was very scared. He called an ambulance. I had some bills. So they actually just crowdfunded it and I got my money back. Like I paid $500 because it was like a medical event. I paid $500 of my own dollars. And then the crowd just funded the $2,000 left over. So I got that money back, which is so amazing. And it's just so nice to know like we're helping real people. And the reason the guy who made the crowdfunding, he got into this because his daughter got diagnosed with cancer. And he was like, I realized then just like what a scam and like that no one was helping me. That I've been paying insurance for 50 years of my life and now
I feel like insurance is not guaranteed.
It's not. And not that no. So it's been so nice. And there's a lot of different ones. There's actually like a lot of Christian ones that they do. There's a lot of like Christian health ones that they do. But this one has worked and it's been so nice. And again, it's just like I have a care advocate. So it's like if I have a question, they just like literally will call me like the next day. So it's like right away. And again, it's just to know where your money is going. Cause like I'm super cool to being generous, but it's like, my husband and my daughter are still on regular insurance just because I wanted to use my insurance to make sure this was something that is cool for the family. And now that I've done it, I'm like, all right, well, I think we're all switching over because like we've been paying $525 a month and my husband like never uses it. My daughter, she actually goes to a pediatrician that doesn't take my insurance because she's amazing. Get into that. Because she doesn't take Blue Cross because they're like, they give you a lot of incentives to do stuff, So I think that's probably why she doesn't accept Blue Cross. So I just pay my pediatrician out of pocket. And it's also cheaper because I don't do all the things that they recommend.
Now, so while you're researching all these things, researching this natural birth and all that, was there ever a time that you're thinking, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should just do it the regular way or the way that's considered regular these days?
I think, and it's weird, I had fear just the opposite way. Like when people look at me like I'm crazy for when I have fear the other way. Like I had true fear of being like people doing stuff to me and me not knowing what's going on because I think that happens so much. And a lot of people that actually like they don't want to know. But I'm like such like a like intuitive with my body. I'm like,
You're like looking around.
No, like it would freak me out. And again, like when it comes to my body, like really weirds me out not be able to feel it or like just the idea of like it's and too that's the other thing, like I always say like I'm cool with God having control, but it's kind of hard for me to give it to someone else. Like and like I love and respect doctors and it's amazing, but like dude, it's a lot of faith to put in someone else's hands because they are just human. So it's just a lot. Like I don't know. And hospitals always freak me out. It's like it's a thing. So I'm like, and I actually wanted to do a home birth with my daughter, but Jake was like, let's do the first one at the hospital, which is fair to do for your first. And again, now talking to my midwives, because I was like, hey, like I know every birth is different, and they're like, you're probably gonna have a great birth. And they also were like, usually with your second birth, cut the time in half, and the pushing time is like nothing. Like my first birth for a first labor of like someone who never had a kid before, they were like, that's actually really quick. It was 18 hours like in full, and probably only like 5 or 6 hours where it was intense. All the rest was like kind of crampy, what's happening, but it wasn't like the ending. So they're like, your next thing will be like maybe 8 to 10 hours. I'm like, I hope so. That'll be epic. Yeah, they like really think that it's going to be cut in half. They're like, whatever it usually is. And this is just from their experience. They're like, everyone's different, obviously. But they're like, from all the births we've done, second and third births are always like cut in half, like down. Like it was 18 hours, you might have a 9-hour labor. Like it might happen. And my last friend, she's like, I got there, I pushed for like 5 minutes. I'm like, that's amazing. So nice. I'm like, that sounds great.
So you just want that full experience of everything.
I do. I want to feel it all.
You consider it a gift?
It is a gift. A gift to feel too, right? And like that's kind of how I see.
Feeling is a gift.
Gift to feel, and just that my body. I don't know. It really comes to. I think you really have to have that faith in the divine and like knowing that like I really do think that we were made in the image of God and that we were made perfect, and that's something with my daughter, because along with the natural birth then came other things. I had a friend who I always say, actually 2 friends who I give so much gratitude to them, and their bravery really, because I was very passionate about natural birth, and then I had a really good girlfriend say, hey, and it's so funny because we get to that, but she was like, the way that you're passionate about birth is the way that I'm passionate about vaccines. And she was like, I just want to give you this book. I don't ever want to like cross boundaries. She's like, but I want to give you this book. She was like, it's super non-biased. It's just like factual, like data. And I want to give this to you. And I was like, thank you so much. Like, that's amazing, And then come to find out, like, her daughter, has never been vaccinated. And I have to tell you, her daughter, before I knew, because I didn't know that she wasn't vaccinated, her daughter has always been the most special girl. Her speech, when she was 3, I'm not kidding. I remember hanging out with her and being like, Ray is unbelievable. She speaks in full sentences. She is like there, like her eyes, everything. But I didn't know that at the time. So once she kind of told me that, I was like, oh, it's like I always felt like there was something so special about your daughter. Like I really felt that way. So she had kind of told me that, and then we had another older friend, Betsy, who amazing. We love you, Betsy. She was same thing. She was like, I love Jake enough, and I know you and Jake are open enough people to say this to. She's like, I've been researching this since the 80s. Like, just I'm praying that you guys
Have you researched
can
it?
be, researched it, and she's like, I'm praying you guys can make the right choice for your family. But she's like, just I want you guys to know this, and here are a few things I want you to look into. And they were two people who I think are super brave in a world that like, you can't say this to people for some reason.
Oh man, I mentioned this to someone last night because I said that you were coming on.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say where they land politically, but
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to talk. This is not exactly sure what I was going to
Yeah,
talk about, but I'm grateful that it went this way.
Yeah.
But I end up saying, I think we might touch on vaccines, and they went, oh, never mind. And I went, oh. And then I asked them, but I said, do you agree with vaccines? And they said, I said, I don't think we're going to say we're anti-vaxxers or anything
Yeah.
like that. She said, oh, I just don't even want to go there. And I said, well, do you agree with vaccines? And she said, yeah. And I said, all of them?
Yeah,
She
we
said,
can talk
well,
about it.
not all of them. I would never get the COVID vaccine or anything like that. And I went, so you're not I'm not an anti-vaxxer,
Yeah.
but so you're just not anti all of them, or maybe you're anti
Yeah.
some of them. I don't know, but that's the thing. It's you're either on this side or the other side. But if you go like the
Yeah.
1980s, they only used to give us like 4 vaccines. Right? Up
Yeah,
until, like,
yeah.
1988,
Oh, yeah.
and now
yeah.
it's 28.
Yeah.
Right, that they give us.
It's so intense, and also I didn't start at. I actually started at okay. I want to at least just take time because I think I was so engulfed in my birth that I didn't even think about vaccines.
What happens
right?
after? Yeah.
Like, and but it's very unnatural because the minute they come out, they are right there. I mean, like, give it
with
a
the
break.
shots it give
Yeah.
ya?
I mean, like, literally out of womb
And then
onto your
boom.
chest, and they are waiting.
With a needle.
Yeah. And
And you're like, "Ooh,
my
that's my
husband was
baby."
like, yeah. And I'm like, give me a second, right? Like, so my husband, he's like, what is that? Because they don't even really communicate that well. Like, they just kind of think that everyone wants the same thing because again I think just in our lives in America and everything, like everything has to be one size fits all now. Like you're not allowed to just kind of be like, well, that's not really where I align, and that's fine, and we should be able to feel that way. But we definitely declined Hep B at birth, and we got the vitamin K and blah blah blah. All is
Measles?
well.
What about measles? Because that's like
So
now there's like the whole outbreak in measles.
No. So I went thinking that I will probably do a few. I thought I will at least space it out. So I was trying to find a pediatrician. I started at Yardley Peds. Did not like my experience, and I get it. My daughter's name is Hunter. I'm like very aware that it leans more masculine, but also like look at the effing chart, like 3 appointments. You're like, how's your son? I'm like, no, like you can look at the chart. Like that tells me you're not even giving this more than a glance. That you're like, you're in and out of these rooms. Like you're just shotting the babies and you're out of here. You're not talking to me. You're not getting to know me as a mom. You're not taking more than 3 minutes to look at me or my baby, literally. So I remember like my 3rd visit because Hunter had gotten jaundice a little bit. So blah, blah, blah. I had to go back. But I was just like, hey, like, I don't know if I want to get the Hep B today. I was like, I just, she's like 7 days old, and I don't know if I'm there yet. Like,
Wait, hold on. Can you choose which ones you're getting? It's not all loaded up in the one needle.
So they're all different. Like the MMR has like it's like 3 in 1. There's some like, there's mixed ones, and then Hep B I think is just Hep B. But I kind of was just like and I was like also like why does she really need it? Like I was just asking, it was like a true motherly, and her aggressive response was, because it's just a public service. Like literally that. I'm like, well,
Wow.
she's 4 days old and like she's not like going anywhere. Like she's gonna be on my boob for the next like year. So I was just like, okay. I was like, I still don't want to do this today. Blah blah blah. Found another pediatrician who was also very lovely. She was very lovely. It was called Zoomies Pediatrics around here, which also recommend to people who are like in the middle with vaccines, because she was very open to a delayed schedule and just very kind. Like totally like talked through my fears, why I wouldn't want some or why I would. And she went through the ones I was like, I don't really think you need this one. She was like, she told me her beliefs. And I loved that she was open and honest. And we had a really great respect factor. I ended up like booking an appointment to go get Hunter vaccinated. And like, I just wasn't feeling right. And then like Jake reached out to his friend Betsy and he was like, I don't know, I think Gina just wants to get her them because she's just stressing her out because there's just too much noise, right? And I just felt like I had to make this decision. It was just like, it's very heavy because it's like the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. And it's like, you're going by trust here and that's cool. But it was also like, it was a lot, and it didn't make sense to me, right? Because after just experiencing birth the way that I did and knowing how perfectly designed that we are, it felt weird. So I kind of was like,
if God's already given me all these things to push this baby out and to have
and
this
do
baby
these
come out
things,
and into
I
this
was
world,
like,
and now you're gonna.
it was
I don't know if it's God's hand in the
right.
in the
It was
needle.
and I get that there's definitely like I'm so grateful for the medical community. I think it's great. I think I think America's really good at emergencies and like car accidents and stuff like that, and like
reconstructive.
super grateful. But I don't think that anyone in America, even doctors, should be telling anyone about health because it's just like, look around, like give me a break. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be a hater, but like I'm looking around. I'm like, well, we are not.
We're not healthy.
We can't say like everyone's. And I'm not hating on. I have a lot of friends who are on mental health. I'm like everyone's on a med. Everyone's on SSRI. I mean like, and you're not even talking to people. You're just like giving up to them, and then you're not telling them that they can't get off of them because there's withdrawal symptoms.
Oh, did you see my one podcast?
No,
I released clips on this.
No, but I'm very. Intrigued.
It has it got like within 24 hours like 110 comments.
Oh, people are
800 likes, 20,000 views, just because I touch on this, where you're just given. I talk more so about like rehabs and such. You come in, you're all out of whack, you're a little hazy, and you're just given this medication right away, and it's like you don't even. They ask me the questions right when I get there. They're like, "So how you feeling?" And I say, "Not good. I'm not good. I'm just coming off a run. Like I'm not doing well." And they're like, "Well, do you want a medication?" I go, I don't even know yet. Like, what do you mean, do I want one yet? And it's like, if this one doesn't work, we'll give you this one and that one. And boom, boom, down the line, you're on 4 or 5.
Right. And the sad thing is, like, I had someone recently, their young daughter was on them. And I'm just like, I'm talking like young. And in my head, I'm like, if we have like 9-year-olds who are like this depressed, like this is something like super, super wrong.
Well, this is where I believe that the world we live in today is there's a lack of God. There's a lack of spirituality.
Exactly. So
we're searching to fix something, and instead we're jumping to the medical world to try to fix it for us. No, it is.
It's
it
so
has
heartbreaking.
to. Maybe it is what we're truly searching for. Is maybe a higher power.
Yeah,
and I think it's that.
Same. And you know what? It makes you sad because I thought to myself, if my daughter was 8 years old and said she was like depressed. Girl, I don't care if we're broke. Like, we're not going to school. Like, we're going to go and we're going to go sit by the water and, like, we're going to get down. Because, like, the idea, too, that we need to, like, but again, you're doing this to little kids and not saying that, like, there's, like, my sister-in-law, I can touch on this because I know it firsthand, that she was on a lot of antidepressants, a lot of things. I think she was on Lexapro, blah, blah, blah.
Same.
She weaned herself off. She had such severe vertigo that she was walking crooked. Like, it was severe withdrawal symptoms because she was on for so long. And again, I don't know if this is like, I don't feel like they're putting people on. They're like, hey, let's get. And here's another thing. I want to know what's your lifestyle like, right? Well, this isn't stuff we're asking. Hey, is your kid on the computer all day, on their cell phone? Are they outside playing? Are they exercising? Because these are things, how are they eating? And I can touch on this from personal experience that, like, when I ate like crap and drank, I was like, I had no energy. I was like
sad.
Lethargic. I was sad. As soon as, and even like when I come off of like just eating poorly now, like Jake and I went somewhere and we were eating like, we never eat like this, but we had like a million popcorn chickens, like a million. I was like so sad that day, and I just felt so terrible. And the idea too that like food is medicine, and like we know that it is. And again, the fact that like saying that is controversial. Like I'm like, guys, it's like okay to like have modern medicine, but also we need to touch on the things that like we need to be doing firsthand, right? Like, and that's the other thing. Like my family, makes fun a lot. Like we battle a lot that like I don't let Hunter, like I've come to the terms where I'm fine with things that are outside of my house. I'm not going to be like, don't give her a Pringle at her friend's house or don't give her, whatever. I'm not going to
Yeah.
make her, I don't want her to be crazy. And I don't want her to live with that fear that like, oh my God, I'm going to eat this and I'm poisoned. You know what I mean? Because I don't think that's right either. Like, I don't want you to, there's also factors that people can't afford or whatever. But that's just something we don't eat in our house. I don't
Yeah,
buy
but there's
those
things
snacks.
you can limit. Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty heavily against like
Yeah.
seed oils and things like that as
Yeah.
well. So like I just believe that you putting stuff like that in your body, it's going to destroy your endothelial
Oh,
cells.
it's
Like it's going to
so,
destroy that.
yeah.
And you don't think that like 100 popcorn chickens are going to
Oh my God, I feel
It-
terrible.
oh,
So bad.
but that's also part of like once
Mhm.
I learned to become like in tune with my body, I know, and it's
Oh
like
yeah,
I
same.
know,
Yeah.
like I wake up, I'm like, oh, why am I feeling kind of this way? It's like,
Yeah.
well, I probably ate this.
Oh, you totally. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a thing. And I seriously, I remember because again, I'm telling you, I ate Wawa every single
I
day.
love Wawa, too.
I love their sizzlies. Like, dude, that sausage, but that's how you know that John is made in the lab because like I want to eat two when I have it. I'm like, I want another one. Like, it's pretty hefty. Like
Yeah.
the greasy American goodness, that fake egg. I don't care. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I'm a real good 80-20 girl. But it's been a long time. I can't remember the last time. I mean, I've had a Wawa Sammy, like being hungover or something, but blah blah blah. It's just that food is medicine, and that's what's so hard. And then okay, back to my daughter with vaccines is that I was full throttle gonna get them, and that was where my heart was. And I was like,
Wow. After all your research
after
on
all
this,
that, I was like, I'm gonna get them. Not even know this is before I wasn't fully researched. Then me and my pediatrician, I called and I canceled the appointment. I said, I'm just not. I want more time. I don't know why you're pushing me. Cause like so Zoomies is really cool that you paid her like a monthly thing. You got all this access to her. She was like kind of trying to do old school medicine where you like got to sit with your doctor. But then as soon as I got there, she kind of like flipped on me a little bit. Like when we had a phone conversation, our first visit, she was like, we'll take this slow. But then it was like very like, I need it to do this now. And I'm like, I just don't see the rush, like I feel pretty good about this. Like I'm good. And we ended up, she was like, look, she broke up with me so nicely. She was like, I can't be your pediatrician. And but she literally said to me, she was like, but I think you're one of the most incredible mothers. She was like,
Aw.
you, like, and only knowing me, she was like, you are so natural with your daughter. She was like, it's not a you or me thing. She was like, I also think that she already had her 20% that was not vaccinated. So if she still wants to get funding and bonuses and stuff, you can have
that's
you have to have 80% of your practice vaccinated. So I think maybe she just was past her threshold, and that's kind of why she couldn't keep me, if I could assume. Just because I'm like, she seemed so open to letting me do my thing, and then I was kind of like, well, you gotta kind of do this, and I was like, well, that's fine.
like my one brother-in-law, he's anti all that. I don't, a few of my nieces and nephews don't have all those shots, and he's big on this, but he's also big on like no food coloring, no bread 40, all this stuff as well. He's big on the belief that it causes autism, all these other things.
Yeah.
And you're crazy. People will tell you this
Oh,
for not believing
yeah.
in this kind of stuff.
Oh, people, it's like, it gets people very angry.
Did you ever watch Jenny McCarthy and Jim
Oh my
Carrey?
God, yes,
Yo,
of course
did you
I
go on
did.
that?
And it was so long ago.
And she got ridiculed for that.
No, wild. And it's so true. And then, so again, now, okay, it's like, all right, I did this. I found the most amazing pediatrician. She is the most stunning, amazing Indian woman. It is old school medicine. It reminds me of my old doctor when I was a kid, Dr. Shah, great guy. But I went, and again, we just have such a great relationship. And the same thing. I go there, and it's just me and her in the office, and we talk, and she got to know me, and she's like, "You're beautiful, little girl Hunter." I mean, like, she's reading that I have a daughter, like, what I mean, like Yardley Peds. No offense, like, I get it, her name's Hunter, but you can look at the chart. It's like, give me a break. You know what I mean? Like, this is a quick patient for you. This is my life. This is like you can't even, living out of your heart is out of your body for the rest of your life when you decide to have a child, right? It's like, you think you love anything, it's the most vulnerable thing. And I think that's another reason why I'm so big in my faith now too, because life happens. Things happen. Like kids, like there's awful things that happen. And I know for me, like I need to have the peace of the Lord to get through these things. Like I can't imagine, like if Hunter, oh my gosh, when she even has a little cold, I'm like, oh, my sweet girl, But sorry, I'm on a tangent, but wait, back to So I found my new pediatrician who had the utmost respect. And I said, look, I don't think I want to do any. Like, I want to keep researching and I want to do my own decisions. And she was like, you just have to sign this paper and we'll talk. And fast forward, Hunter is 3.5. I'm not joking. And like, knock on wood, praise the Lord. Hunter's only ever been there for a well visit. She's never gone to the pediatrician yet.
Wait, does she have any vaccines?
None.
Zero?
Just the vitamin K
Now,
at
what
birth.
about schools and stuff?
She goes to a Christian school. And in Pennsylvania, you actually can have a religious or philosophical belief against them. And honestly, the more you research vaccines now, religiously, there are aborted fetus cells in them, which not a big deal. But like, there's a lot of things that I'm like, spiritually, this is kind of why we're probably all messed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're injecting ourselves with like different things, like cows. Like, there's stuff from like cows, chicken hearts. Like, there's stuff that you wouldn't even imagine. And I get it,
Heavy
science.
metals,
Like, I'm sure. Look, I'm not a scientist. I'm sure there's like, oh, it needs your immune system to react. But like, for where I am spiritually, it's like it doesn't make sense to me.
You're not a modern day scientist, but it seems like you've done a bit of theory and hypothesis on childbirth.
And you have to Suzanne Humphries, Dissolving Illusion. She's amazing. So you have to read these books and again be open,
Have
right?
you read do you know Abigail Schreier?
Oh, I don't know if I do.
Oh, you'll love her because you talked about therapy a little bit. Her whole belief because we jumped off of therapy quick, but she does not agree with a child being in therapy at 8 years old, at 12 years old, at 14 years old. She hates the reiteration
of that something's
of
wrong.
Therapy because then it's making it wrong and making it wrong. If you just keep going into therapy and you're going, I got a problem, I got a problem, I got a problem. Well, yeah,
you got a
now
problem.
you got a problem.
I know.
Yeah, she's been on Rogan a couple times.
So neat. Yeah, I have to watch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would definitely watch because it's so
Powerful.
and it just and it, again, it's crazy. I think it's just I'm so and this is like I get so heartbroken. Like my dad knows that and again, if you meet my little girl, she's unbelievable. She is so strong. She gets sick not a lot. I mean, like I'm telling you,
I'm shocked she has no vaccines.
I've never when I brought her to the pediatrician last time, right, for her 3-year-old checkup, my pediatrician said to me with a serious face, and she looked at me and she said, Gina, what do you do? She said, because she's just what do you do? And I said, well, you know how I feel about that stuff. I was like, but also like we eat very well, right? We eat a lot of stuff from farms. We have our own chickens. I was like, and I pray over her every single night. And I was like, people can call that quack. Praying over your kids is real. Like, I also believe that's why she's so healthy. Because, like, she is going to grow up and, like, I want her to find God on her own and love God. But, like, the biggest thing right now and why I don't, and it's hard for me. And, again, my family and I are very different and it's like a thing. But the reason I can't even think about public school now is everyone's broken. When you go to a Christian school, they are telling you you were made perfect. They're not saying don't be different. They're not. But at such a young age, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we don't need to learn about sexuality. Second, we need to be learning that we were made perfect, that you are loved, right? Because there's so many kids who might go home and aren't loved, right? There's some people who don't. There's this one song by, I forget her name, but it's called The Truth. And it's like, the truth is I'm my father's child. I make him proud and I make him smile, and it's like, there's someone there for you who is looking down on you, even with everything, even when you're like, I hate God. You think he didn't know that you were going to be like that? Like, always tell me, you think God didn't know we'd all disagree? You think God, he's ever knowing. He knows everything. He knows that he knows he would cause division. That's just the way that it is. But to love people through all that, right? And that's why it's so sad right now in the world. It's like, people are going to hear me say this and they're going to be like, she's neglecting her child. And I'm like, you should see my kid. So not neglected. She's awesome. She's incredible. She can do a pull-up. She's like, she can hang on a bar for 2 minutes. She's like, she honestly freaks me out sometimes. I'm like, dude, you're kind of aggressive. Like, you're really and her conversations and her logic and her wit, she already knows how to she has wit, literally wit, and she's 3. She knows how to it's not just because I'm now around a lot of children. It's different. There's something a little bit, and I'm not saying there's something wrong, but it's different for each kid.
And do you think it goes right to the vaccines, or do you think it's everything?
I think it's everything overload, right? And not even, I think it's an overload of toxins in the air, toxins here, toxins there. And I think it's just like our little bodies, like, and phones, Wi-Fi. I think all this stuff, like, we're just not meant to be living this way. It's so unnatural to the human soul, right? It's like we weren't supposed to be doing that. Like you said, dude, do away with cars. Screw it. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop. You guys want to talk about climate change? How about we just stop? How about we live in our small towns, get grocery stores, and like get back to it? Okay. And also, like, I don't really need horses pooping in the street, but like, we don't really need all this, right? It's like we have far too much. And honestly, too, I laugh because my parents like always say it about my daughter. Like, she really has like a lot of gratitude for 3 years. Like, you should see Christmas under the tree for her. It's not a lot. I'm kind of like an anti, like, sure, if she wants to, like, my husband wanted to get, he was like, can we just have her believe in Santa? I'm like, it's cool. I just, like, already think that we live in such a world where, like, everything is, like, I just think it's a weird concept that, like, your parents, even people who, like, don't have a lot of money, like, your parents are busting their ass to put these presents under the tree. And now we're just, like, giving it to this fake thing. And I get magical stuff is cool, but you know what else is magic? The birth of Jesus Christ. Super cool. Your kids could know about that and then feel that, and that'd be great, But it's fine. I do Santa, but I don't overdo it. And I do make it a lot more about that a really amazing Savior was born. And it's been so special, her little school, because just everything that, like, she had a Christmas show, where they were singing. And just, too, like, the idea that these people are praying over your kids and, like, it's just so special. Like, the lady, Miss Robin, she was saying this little baby had, like, such bad, like, stomach pains and wasn't going to the bathroom. And she was like, Gina, me and Miss Sally went in there and we prayed over him. And later on after lunch, baby was doing amazing. And I'm like, again, people can be like, oh, just quinky dink. But it's like, that stuff is really powerful. And even if it's not real, it's like, it makes you feel good because it has a gratitude and it has something bigger than you. Because when you put it on yourself, there's not much to it,
Oh, and you let go and let God. It's
Yeah, it's
something special. It really
incredible.
is because it also just makes you feel like you don't have to carry the weight of what
Yeah.
you thought you had to carry.
No, it's incredible.
And I think as a society today, we don't rely on. We think that we have to handle all of our problems by ourselves.
Yeah.
And we don't.
No.
And I don't like doing it anyway. Like now,
No, at all.
I go to a group every day, right? So I let my problems out there.
Yeah.
Every day with a group, and I usually participate as much as I can throughout the week. And when I do that, sometimes I'm a little like apprehensive. I don't want to always, tell people about my problems and whatnot. But then I have to think it's not what I can take out of the meeting; it's what I can give to it, right?
Yeah.
And then if I've shared something that I'm a little apprehensive about sharing, someone comes up afterwards and goes, "Hey, man, I thank you for saying that."
Yeah.
And I go, "Oh, thank you, God, for allowing me to say it." So
Yeah.
even today, it's someone in the car. With me after the meeting said, he's like, dude, you're just really articulate. You're able to just get that out like that.
Yeah.
And I said, well, before every single meeting, I say a prayer, God, if you need to, just work through me today.
Yeah. It's
and
incredible.
So I did. And that's
Yeah.
what I do. And especially if I'm chairing the meeting, before I go, I say, okay, and I say a prayer. I say, work through me if you can.
Yeah.
And then I wing it. And
Yeah.
then it usually comes out in a way I go, oh, that was pretty.
You're like, that was pretty epic.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh,
you're like, that was
I
really
did a good
sharp.
job, dude. But
Yeah.
and I have to thank God for that. And actually, no, and I don't even know if I have thanked him yet. So this is good that I'm doing it now.
No,
But,
absolutely. Oh, I love that.
That is a good reminder, right? But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it is. It's a nice It's a nice topic to talk about when you finally feel okay talking about it, even when
Yeah.
you don't sometimes, because those little piece by piece, you start to feel a little bit more okay with it.
Yeah.
But I used to, man, it was crazy. I had such a God part of my life, and then I had relapsed and was struggling a bit. And then I would look at my cousins who are always kind of talking about God.
Yeah.
It was weird how I got away from it. And it was like, God, stop talking about that.
Yeah.
It was strange how I
Yeah.
switched, and all I could think was that there was a dark attachment on me, or some darkness inside of me that wasn't allowing for the connection between me and my higher power. It wasn't. God was always still there for sure. But
Always is, yeah.
it was poisoned. There was some
Yeah.
corruption in the line.
For sure.
And I needed to open that back up. God was always still there, just going, I'm still hanging on.
Yeah.
But
and that's always like, it's been incredible. Like, I always think about that like, even when he's always waiting for you to come back, because I've had my own things with just life when you get busy, and then even like, it was so funny. It was as simple as like, I got this bracelet, right? And it's off now, but it was like an intention bracelet. And I remember my intention was, Lord, help me love my husband the way that you love him. And that's because, like,
that's nice.
it is when you're sharing your life with somebody, and even if you love them, adore them, life is real of just like you still want, like there's just so much of our thing that we put on each other, right? Like I want this and you want this and you're busy, and my husband's a really hard worker, so it's hard for him to be as present as I would like him to be, because I'm like, be present with me. Why aren't you present? It's like the load that he takes every day of like actual work and having to put out fires and managing people and managing other people's emotion. I mean, it's so much. And I can't even relate because he's blessed me that I'm able to be home with my daughter literally most of the time. I work for him 3 days a week. So, she's with her mom on Mondays. She goes to a cute little school 2 days a week. And like, I'm living like the actual dream. Like, I get to be with my daughter so much. Like, our bond, I'm telling you, everywhere we go, she's like cool going, because I just feel like she knows. Like, we are just so deeply connected. And like, it's a time that you'll never get back. And I'm so grateful for my husband for that. But I'm still a woman who, is like, well, my need, and it's not like, oh, like you should have your needs, but like, it's a real thing that you get into with a partner or a spouse or anybody. But trying to love each other the way that God loves us is how I try to love everybody.
Do you think there's a corruption in America, though, these days that are trying to pull mother away from child?
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's so weird.
Where it's like...
It's so unnatural. It's so sad. It like really devastates me. Like I get...
Oh, I think it's a real thing. It
is, because...
When women started working, I think it was after, it was like 1920s or 30s, right after women's rights. It was like, oh, now we can tax two incomes.
Two incomes.
Right.
And now we're going to teach your kids other stuff at school.
Oh, and indoctrination starts happening.
And we're going to like not... And I don't care. It's real. Like, and people are going to think I'm weird. The whole demon hunter show, I get it. Everyone's like, it's not about demons. It's about best friends. I'm like, no, but it's weird.
Don't call
it
that.
Why are we calling it that? When a bunch of 3, 4, 5-year-old little girls are going to be like...
Oh, it's the most streamed thing ever, right?
Every little girl was that for Halloween this year.
Have you seen it?
No, I don't watch it in my house.
I haven't seen it either.
She has to play that one song in her house. And and again, everyone's like, oh, great song. It already is planting seeds that you're not who you're supposed to be. And that's what I don't like. And that's what I like. So we listen to a lot of worship songs in my house. And you know what it is? It's reassuring of what you are, how you were already, like, just made perfect. And I'm not even saying, like, look, my best friend, super gay, love Shane to death. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying, love who you are, because God loves you. Don't plant these seeds that you're broken. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem for me, is like this song actually, what's it say? It's like, I forget exactly the lyrics, but it's so actually like off, like it's in the name of like strong, but it's actually planting a seed that you're not who you're supposed to be. And I just think that's a weird thing to plant on kids, right? It's like, why are we planting that when we could be planting seeds that you're amazing?
Yeah, why are these seeds getting planted, do you think? Right? Because there's a whole, I don't know.
Then you get me into like too much, and then I get like, because I have like my respectful way to talk about things, but then I get into like, well, because there's a lot of money in it, because there's money in you being sad, sick, depressed. Now you want to change. It's like there's so much in it, and it's so corrupt. Like, it's so bad. Like, and that's why,
Yeah, but there's other things that there's not that much money in that they're still trying to push.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like a lot of the sexual stuff or the trans stuff and things like that they're trying to push. I don't think there's that much money in, but why do they try to push that stuff?
Well,
we don't have to go into that.
No, I'm saying eventually there's money involved, right? Because now you're like getting like, you're going to get surgeries. Now you're a customer forever.
I think it's more the mental health too.
And then they want you on this. And also, I mean, don't even get me started on like for our fertility, right? And like everything that's going on in the world, and like it like devastates me. I'm on Instagram. I follow a couple like really nice people. It's not normal for people to be losing their babies at like 20 weeks. Like, there's like people having miscarriages now at like 20 weeks, 24. Like, people, I'm like, why did I just see 3 girls lose their baby? This is insane. Like, this is not normal. Like, this is stuff that it's like, again, there's something going on, and it's evil.
I mean, what are you tacking that up to?
I think I know
plastics in our bodies or things like that.
Yeah, and I actually think, the COVID vaccine was definitely, they threw out a lot of the trials on pregnant women, and they actually told pregnant women, they told people of like, age to get pregnant, not to get pregnant, and people did, and then they got rid of all the data.
Did you get it?
No.
Neither did I.
No.
I was living in Florida, so we had a whole, It was the greatest place to live during that
yeah,
time.
yeah, you were so lucky. Yeah, no, and it was really I had a lot of, and again, same thing brought me so deep into my faith because I would go to the docks in Bristol, and I remember every day going and praying and saying, God, I just thank you that my family's healthy, that, we're all safe still. I am like, I just know something's not right. I just knew it. It was never political for me though. Like when they said to get it, I was like, I just don't need it. It wasn't like I don't get the flu shot. I just knew down to the root of my soul. Like there was never, it was just like, I know I don't need it. And then, going through that with my family, right? Being the only one who didn't get it.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and then my sister being like, well, you can't see my kids. And that to me was when I knew the devil was really real.
Oh, that's just so.
That was,
yeah.
the devil's real. The devil divides. The devil, to divide families, to divide friends, to divide to really mass do that. That's to me like, that's how now biblically I'm like, this is probably end times because that was part of the thing that happened 5 years ago, and it's kind of only getting worse with what they're showing, right? In individual stuff, people are pretty blessed, right? But in the mass scene of the world or whatever the show is that they're putting on, like, it's pretty scary stuff. Like, it's not great.
Do you ever feel like now that you've found this God? I guess you've had him now for about 10 years. Are you afraid of death at all still?
It's so interesting. I always say, like, for me, I'm always like, I honestly, like, I look forward to heaven. I really look forward in the sense of, like, the peace, I just know that's what it's going to feel like. A peace that's not there. But I get emotional when you think about who you leave behind, right? And then I get sad thinking about, I just actually, oh my God, it's going to make me emotional. I was in CVS and I wanted to, like, talk to her about God because she was the sweet lady at CVS in Yardley, and she just instantly, this kind of happens to me a lot where, like, I just look at people and then they just start telling me everything, and I love that. And I went up to her and I'm like, how you doing, babe? Like, Merry Christmas. And she's instantly started crying. She's like, I lost my dad, a week and a half ago. And she started crying, and I just gave her a big hug. And I was like, oh, babe, like, I'm so sorry. And she started crying.
Do you know this person?
Just by going to CVS.
Okay.
Like, not like, anything. But she started crying because she said her dad was so scared of death. And that made me so sad, because I get it. It's, like, definitely unknown. But, like, there's still, again, I think there's a peace that surpasses all understanding when you have the Lord. Like, now, if anyone in my life loses somebody, I'll text them. I rarely say anything. I like literally will be like, I love you, I'm thinking of you, and I pray the Lord will give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. That's, like, the only thing I say now, because that's my real prayer for them, that, like, I hope there's a peace that it surpasses any and all understanding, because that's what he can give to you if you allow it.
There's just a nice once having I'm afraid of death when I don't have a connection with my higher power. When I have a connection with my higher power, I all of a sudden just go, well, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Especially when somebody else
I
passes.
understand.
I think, like, now I understand why it's like a celebration of death, not like not a fear of death.
Yep.
I had this woman on here. Her name was Amanda Bournet, and she was friends with Emma, and that's how I got in contact with her.
Yeah.
And she's a psychic medium and considers herself like a witch. So I was like, sweet, she's going to come on. We're going to talk about, like, even though I don't like the devil and stuff like that, I love the topic of the occult and the conspiracy behind it, and, like,
And you still
why
talk
are
to people,
interested,
It's
and
like,
the Freemasonry and the Illuminati and all this crazy shit. So she comes on, and I'm like, all right, I was like, let's get into the occult. Like, you're a witch. And she's like, not the kind that you think. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, if you listen to the episode, I think it's one of my favorite episodes. But
neat.
you should listen to it. And I'm still kind of trying to push into that a little bit more. But then she, like, switches up, and she's like, no. I am a light worker for the four archangels.
Wow.
And it's so good. And then she talks about, like, Michael, Raphael, and I forget the other two.
Oh, so neat.
And she's a death doula. Yeah. So you talk about birth doula. She's a death doula.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
people need a death doula.
And she does somatic healing and stuff like that. And so then I go up and I see her in Hackensack. That's where her office is. And I go up and I'm like, I need to do a session with you then.
Yeah.
And it was this night. She has this calm and this peace. And you're just like, oh, there's people like you in this world.
Yeah.
And more people need to interact with you.
Yeah.
But people don't want to believe in that kind of stuff anymore. They don't want to believe in this, like, that you can be healed through the light, or or they just want to be healed, right? And sometimes the healing isn't just you have to kind of go through the process, and that is the healing is maybe just coming closer to a God, or just believing that you are protected by these 4 archangels, or by some kind of guardian angel or anything like that. Like that's the part of the healing that you want, and that you might not get the healing here. It's going to happen when you pass, and that's where it's going to be.
Seriously, yeah, I love that. It's really beautiful too. Wow.
That
super
one
amazing.
is a fun episode, because when I hear Death Doula, I think Grim Reaper.
Yeah, but she's like,
she helps people after passings.
That's so nice.
And she believes she heals through for the archangels she uses them to help with the healing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty freaky on that episode too. I'm sitting here and she's like, "Hey, I'm picking something up right now. Is it okay if I share it?" And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Someone's trying to hand you butterscotch," and she doesn't know that my grandmother used to try to hand me butterscotch. And then
it's so sweet.
Yeah. And then there's a couple other things. She's like, "Hey, there's somebody else here with us right now too.
Is that wild?
That nobody else would know about this kind of stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, I believe."
Yeah, you're like, fine, okay, yeah, I'm converted. No, I know it is.
Yeah.
Well, because people really do, and I think honestly, I think probably a lot of people probably have that but it's a scary thing to even let yourself do. Like what she does, now I'm sure she doesn't fear, but we live in a spiritual realm, right? These bodies are like a shell.
Well, that's like we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Exactly.
That.
Yeah,
I believe in that 100%.
Oh, same.
And sometimes I have to check myself if I'm doing something that may not be right or wrong, but I go, is this a human part of me doing this, or is this a spiritual part of me doing this? Like I really try to check myself in that all the time. If I want to react to somebody reacting to me, I have to go, "Whoa, is this human Frank or is this spiritual Frank?
Yeah.
Which one do I want out right now?"
Yeah.
It's like the wolf you feed type thing.
No, it's so nice to check yourself too. It's so
yeah, but I
important.
check
It's
it
hard,
that way now, which is which I
It's
think is
interesting.
really
I like
nice.
that. Yeah.
Because we really are just I don't know what we are, but I do know I'm having a human experience for sure.
Yeah.
But then I also know when I'm feeling a bit more spiritual and I'm having a spiritual experience.
And I love when I'm and again, I really feel that I'm at a point right now where I need to take more time to be present. I'm really present with my daughter and stuff like that. But when it comes to my own presence of how I used to be when I sat down by the water, and I'm again, like I said, I'm aware of the lack of time, but it's so important because it makes you even that much better of a parent too when you really take that time. And I just need that because I'm always pretty connected. I do talk to him a lot throughout the day. Anytime I'm doing something, and I'm praying for my daughter all the time, and I'm doing these things, and it doesn't have to be pretty. I'll just be doing something and just stop and pray. But I just sitting. I mean, I used to, and I think too, just being outside, right? I haven't sat under a tree, in a little bit of a time, and I need to do that. And that's something that made me feel like me. Right? It was you have to.
It made you feel human. It made
human.
You feel there is that presence that
it's I needed that.
They have not figured out how to sell the present moment yet.
No.
And I don't think they will.
No.
And if they could, they would, because if you truly know how to live in a present moment, and I am not perfect at it, but there's one thing that I love doing stuff like this where someone's getting emotional, I'll go, "Oh, I'll get a little emotional with you," and it's supposed to be not masculine, right? And I'm not saying I sit there and cry with somebody or whatnot, but if I can just go, "Oh, we're in a present moment right now. All right, let's do it. Let's do it." I'm not going to try to think about getting out of this conversation. I'm not going to try to think about what I got going on right now. All right, let's feel it a little bit.
So
let's do it.
When you can be like that, though.
If they could bottle it up and sell it, I think people would know how precious the present moment really is.
Because there's nothing like it. My daughter and I have started, and it was so funny. It's me. I'm the problem now. So my daughter has always been a great sleeper. I co-slept with her until 9 months, and then eventually my shoulder was just screwed. And I'm like, I gotta get rid of you. I love you so much, but I can't feel my shoulder. So I got her into a room, and she's been a great little sleeper. Since then, done her thing. But last summer we traveled a lot in the sense of we go to our condo, we go to our mountain house, and I sleep with her when we're there because they're not huge houses. It's we sleep in bed together. Well, she got a little bit of hooked, right? So then I got hooked because the pillow talk with your child at that time of the night is so effing cute. And the stuff that pops into their head at that time is so magical. that now I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm addicted, right? And
Yeah, I got something to say to
I'm
you.
like,
And I
this
want to
is,
hear your feedback.
yeah, I'm like, this is amazing.
I want to hear your
We're
3-year-old
in bed
feedback.
last night and we're like staring at each other, and we got this little candle that she accidentally stole. She's a little bit of a klepto. I'm like, dude, you gotta stop doing that stuff, right? I'm like, chill, man. Like, don't do it. So she like has this little candle and she like put it up. She's like, story time, because we've been telling each other stories, like just making up funny ones, and just her smile staring at you like pillow to pillow, and you're staring at this little soul that only knows love, right? And they only know innocence. And that's why children, I mean, they're the closest thing to God, right? I mean, they don't see anything. They don't see any of the stuff that we see. There's no
haven't met the
judgment.
devil
They
yet,
haven't.
you know?
No. They are just the most pure, innocent little beings. And watching that smile when I'm like, well, once upon a time there was a turtle who jumped over a rock, like, and she just thinks it's the funniest thing. And then she'll go on to be like talking about certain people, and then she'll like pray for people. And sometimes I'm like, girl, you gotta like too much now, like I have to tell her to wrap it up. And she's like, wait, I forgot one more person. She's like rattling off all these different people that she saw in the day that she wants to pray for, and then she'll be like, I forgot, and like she'll just keep going. And it's so precious that like, I gotta be honest with you, I know people are like, that's a problem. I'm like, honestly, it's,
Who thinks that's a
I
problem?
feel like, they're like, you gotta sleep train that baby. And I'm like, I
Oh.
definitely get it. And it really, look, when it comes to like sleep, mental health, I needed it when she was like 9 months. I needed to get her down because I needed to just, my arm hurt. It was really just my arm hurting very badly. Like, because I would sleep with her, like, Mama Bear never moved. Like, I would sleep with my shoulder up and she would be in the same exact spot when I woke up. But I just, physically it was like truly causing me pain. I have one girlfriend. She's a very great mother. She like breastfed like all of her kids, like got pregnant back to back. She has like 3 kids. She had to get like shoulder surgery from breastfeeding and co-sleeping for so many years straight, literally. And I'm like, no, it's like a real thing. Like co-sleeping mama bears, like for real out here. Like you don't move. These arms, and everyone's like, that's dangerous. I'm like, no, moms don't move. I don't believe that stuff either. I also am like, telling people not to sleep with their kids is the most unnatural, weird thing.
I used to think this. I used to think
Bizarre.
that it was. No, I used to think that they should be. Well, I don't know. I'm not saying this was a strong belief of mine or anything, but I just figured the kids were put in a crib in another room. But then one of my favorite topics is I love to go back and what did we do 2,000 years ago? What did we eat 10,000 years ago? Like, what truly creates a human happiness? But they didn't have extra bedrooms.
No, you slept with your babies.
Yeah, I think you always slept with your babies.
Always slept with your babies.
I think that connection has to be there. Like, there's something, if you push your baby away instead of holding it. I don't know. I don't have kids, but like, I have a lot of sisters who have,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do is sleep with your baby.
And I think it's instant though. I think we've just gotten to a point of like low vulnerability where like I feel like we're having kids, but we're not present enough to even have them. Like, I just feel like it's such a weird time to be alive too, because I'm like, and again, I get it. People have to work. It's just the reality of the situation now. But like, it's such a weird time that I'm like, I watch people and it's like, work sucks compared to like what this little joy is, And it's like, it really is so sad for the people who want to be home with their kids. It's really devastating to think that they have to think that we just did the most miraculous thing that can happen on Earth. And they want you to go back to work 6 weeks later. 6 weeks.
And they find it weird if you're breastfeeding out in public with them now, too. When you get a chance to be with that baby and
my
they're
gosh. It's so weird. And that was the other thing. I was the only person in my family to ever breastfeed. So I was like super grateful for my mother-in-law because, and again, it was all stuff that like, it was super natural for me. It was like, I breastfed Hunter till she was 18 months and kind of like my fault. Like, I was kind of unattached. Like, I was like, oh, well, I'm having a great time. Like, feel super connected to you. Like, it was just.
But your body's going to keep making the milk.
It's
incredible. Going to keep doing it. So.
And now she's so funny because she's like, well, I'm not a baby. So, like, I don't need your ninnies. And I'm like, yeah, well, your baby brother. And she's like, yeah, because he's a baby. Like, I'm like, yeah, I get it. You're old now. You're like super mature. But like sometimes at night, and because if you're breastfeeding mom, like sometimes she'll be like, if she's like sick, she's like, can I just hold it? Like she literally would just like hold it. And I'm like, no, it's like your comfort. Like that was your source of life, man. And like, so she'll be sleeping and she's just like, and it's not all the time. It's like if she doesn't feel good, she'll be like, can I please hold it? And I'm like, sure. It's so funny. And some people are like, that's so weird. I'm like, she's my 3-year-old child and she drank out of these for almost 2 years. Okay. well, year and a half. I'm like, give her a break. She wants to hold a ninny. I'm like, men want to hold ninnies, okay? Like, give everyone a break around here.
That's all we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's literally all you guys try. I'm like, let the kid have a ninny.
Yeah,
but
why do people find this weird now? Why
I
are
think
we getting
everything-
so unnatural?
Unnatural. Everything is so unnatural to our
Well, it's
human
weird.
biology
I mean,
now.
I
It's
love the
so-
topic of food when it comes to being natural and
Oh, yeah,
unnatural.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I eat very whole food.
Yeah, same.
I was vegan, vegetarian for like 7 years.
So
even.
interesting.
I'm not-
Surprised you were.
I'm not anymore. But I mean, actually, I've been on a whole vegetarian kick again.
Yeah.
But it's really not that I'm on a vegetarian kick because I still will eat meat.
I
a
love
good amount.
steak. I'm like, I'm not.
Well,
I
that's
don't. We
what
don't
I
really
love
eat a lot
eating,
of.
so
We don't
that's
really eat
what
a
I'll
lot of
still eat.
chicken, to be honest.
I try to stay away from chicken.
Yeah.
But it's no. When I go towards this route, I think what my body's really telling me is go back to whole foods
Yeah.
from the earth, from the earth. That's what it's really
Yeah.
telling me to do. It's not saying stop eating meat because I love steak. I'll
Yeah, I
still eat steak.
love a steak.
But I'm not. I'm eating it once or twice a week. I'm not eating it 7 days.
Yeah.
But it's that whole. It's someone finds my what they call healthy eating weird, but it's not
It's
because
not weird to do.
they're eating. They're popping something in the microwave
So
or eating some
wild.
chips. I love chips.
Oh, I
but
don't use the microwave, and that's really controversial to
but
my sisters. Apparently,
I'm
they
weird.
get so upset.
But yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, I still use it, but I'm not. I'm considered the weird one because I pack my lunch every day and I'm eating
Yeah.
fruits and veggies and
No,
and
it's
eggs.
really a weird time. And that was what's so incredible to me. I'm like so grateful that like at 18 that changed my eating habits completely. And I'm a firm believer. I like the Mediterranean diet: healthy fat, healthy carb, healthy protein. I don't think you gotta like get rid of any. I think you just gotta eat whole foods,
Yeah.
real whole foods.
Yeah.
So if you want to have whatever, like I never went back to my old eating habits, and it was crazy. I remember when I did 24 days, I was like 138 pounds, which, mind you, I was only like 140 something when I was pregnant with my daughter. So that was like heavy for me because it wasn't like, oh, it's just like a tall, like I'm not that tall, I'm 5'4", but like that it was just pure like unhealthy, like fat weight. Like it wasn't like, oh, I'm just like muscle. Like, no, it was gross. Like I was eating Wawa. I would like, that's
will
when I was
still eat
like,
Wawa
it's like
sometimes.
when
I
I was a
still love it.
huge stoner too. So like I remember like I wouldn't remember what I'd eat. Like I'd probably have like 4 Hot Pockets, like a bag of Hers chips, and like go to sleep. And I remember waking up being like, my stomach hurts so bad. It was really bad times, but never went back. And like we eat real, like we're pretty basic. Like Hunter, I feel bad sometimes. I'm like, it's kind of boring, but like we do a lot of like, we have a lot of ground beef. We do a lot of good like veggie things. We do a lot of steak and rice and a veggie. Like we're pretty basic.
Yeah.
And then we do eggs and we do a lot of I love yogurt.
So
I
do
love yogurt. And
Love
I get it
yogurt.
plain, so I just do yogurt with honey and cinnamon. So banging.
So good.
So me and Hunter had
I
this
eat it every
morning,
day.
and I just like went hard, dipped some apples in it. And I went on my sourdough kick for a little bit, so I have to get back into that
Oh, that's good.
because that was great.
I mean, I'm a huge bread fan.
Love bread. I don't
Yeah.
want to get rid of it,
I
but
eat it
it's
every day.
nice because when you have a good bread, like when I was cooking sourdough, my husband was loving it. He was literally like, yeah, midday, I'm just like having a piece of your sourdough, and because especially he's moving a lot, right? It's like maybe
gonna
it's
be
not,
used.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's using all of it up. But food is so incredible, and I see, I let Hunter eat when she's out. Like I don't, because I don't want her to ever like for example, my girlfriend nannied for this family, and these kids kind of at school were like, you're eating poison. They're like doing it to these other kids. And I'm like, I don't want her to be like that. I want her to just know that she's eating food to fuel her body, that she feels good. I don't want her to go around and be like, I don't want her to go to her cousin's house and be like, well, you're really unhealthy. Like, I don't want her to be like that because there's nothing cute or adorable or sweet or kind about that. It's like you kind of have to.
I may not know what she's talking about either at the time.
Right. And I'm like, so I try to keep it. But again, I let her do her thing out. And I've gotten more eased up as she's gotten a little bit older. Like when she was little, I was like, but it was because like, again, my postpartum was like, I just loved her so much. I just wanted to protect her at all costs. So like, I was like, she can't have any of that. I'm like, she can't. I'm like, did you microwave that? I can't ever have that. And I mean, I also don't use the microwave, not even out of like, now it's out of habit. I heat everything up on the stove or my toaster oven. So it's just that I don't use a microwave. One, I don't want to, but
Air fryers
two,
are great now too, though.
yeah, and I don't know now. I mean, like we have all cast irons, and I just kind of like, I just saw this cute little thing, this little homesteader, changed my life actually. And I do a little like mason jar lid. I put my plate, put a little bit of water, top it
Yep,
off.
I know exactly
And
what
I've
you're
been
talking
doing
about.
that, and it takes a couple extra minutes, and sometimes it's a little annoying. But I do like, again, I think it's annoying because we live just too fast of a paced life, right? So it's like,
Yes.
if we would just slow down. And same thing, it's just like,
You can't slow down.
we just chase everything. Like, everything.
Yeah, but it's so weird that we feel like we can't slow down, but I feel like most people just end up speeding up fast to go right to their phone, which is insane.
Well, and that's something my husband and I have had like a really like deep conversation about because I'm like,
It's like I don't
it's
have enough
not just
time.
him, it's me too. And I hate it. But the thing about me is I'm aware. I'm very self-aware of things where I'm like, and I want to be better. So it's like I know that there's like a phone addiction happening and I want to change that. But I need help and I need you on my team to do that. It's
Dude, it's like I
something
don't have
that
enough time in the day, but I look at my
right.
phone screen time
It's
is
so
6
bad.
hours.
When I get rid of it, it's wild because I'll go through like little hiatuses where I just delete everything, and it's great, and I don't miss it. But it's crazy how many times I go to like look to open something up, right,
For no
for
reason.
no reason, and waste so much time, and then But I want to start at least like, I mean, obviously he's a controversial name, but I really liked Charlie Kirk and what he did on Sundays with his family and celebrating the Sabbath, like whatever. Don't call it a Sabbath, call it whatever you want. But I think
Should not be a controversial name, but okay.
if people could do that with their families and shut down on a Sunday or pick one day where you and your husband or you and your whole family, even because now it's like even my mom and dad, like, we'll be at dinner and I'm like, Jude, like, why are you texting your girlfriend? Like, I'm right here talking to you and you're like holding your phone while I'm chatting with you. Like, I feel like my parents are like worse than I am.
Oh, it's funny. I
'Cause
talked
they're-
about it with someone
yeah.
recently about this, how
So-
they're even the ones flipping out the phone now.
Yeah.
It's
Well, it's an addiction, and it's a real addiction. It's
Well,
like it's happened.
It's a similar to it. I mean, if you want to look at like what a drug and an alcohol does to you, it cuts off your emotions, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
allow you to feel full forms, right? When I'm feeling happy, I would drink. When I was feeling sad, I would drink.
Yeah.
It was like I'd get to here and then I would drink, and it
Yeah.
was just cut off. And now when I'm feeling happy, I take out my phone. When I'm feeling sad, I take out my phone because I need little dopamine hits to not feel sad.
Yeah.
When I need to feel sad,
Yeah, and you
I
need to
feel
just be present.
happy.
Yeah.
And it's I think that's why people struggle so much with
Yeah.
understanding what the emotion is. It's like I'm feeling something. Well, you're supposed to
To
feel
feel.
something.
Oh, that's what
And
bothers
that's why
me.
so
Yeah.
many people are in
So
therapy
sad.
these days. And I think it probably stems back to
Yeah.
our food and our phones.
No, it is. Well, it's definitely that. I mean, there's like stuff too where like I hate when people are like, well, it's not the science. I'm like, some stuff we just don't need science for, okay? Like, I can look at that and be like, well, that's probably not going to make me feel good. And I don't need an expert to tell me that because I am a living being with a brain who can look at that and say, that's not going to make me feel good. And that's the problem right now, too, that like people, I follow this one trainer and we always talk of respect, but he's always like shitting on RFK. I'm like, dude, you're a trainer. You should be happy that he's talking about Whole Foods. Like, he's like, well, like, saturate. I'm like, the fact that you're even going against someone talking about Whole Foods as a fitness instructor is weird. Like, that just shows me that, like, you can't even think for yourself. I'm like, Whole Foods are real. And I know it because I've done it in my own life.
For sure.
I weighed 138 pounds. I did the Mediterranean diet, whole food, 24 days. I dropped down to 118 pounds in 24 days. Obviously, I was young and I was 18 that I was working out, but I actually wasn't working out because the minute I started that thing, I like fell off of a thing and had a boot on my leg. So that I lost all that weight from just eating clean. By literally stop eating Wawa and I was having eggs for breakfast. I was having
You're harping on Wawa here.
Dude, I mean, I ate so many Sizzlies. I would get 2 for $3, and then in high school, I would go in. My friend makes fun of me. It's funny. There's a video, and he's like, Gina, you always came in late. Like, I'm here, pledge allegiance to the flag. Like, I'd just be like yelling, coming in late with like 2 Sizzlies and a coffee with like 4 ounces of French vanilla in there, and I would eat one Sizzly, then like next period eat another Sizzly. It's like 1,000 and some calories for the day.
It's
Not
not even just
hating.
the calories, man. You're getting shocked.
No,
with that
your body's like
salt,
whoa,
sugar, fat.
dude. Yeah, no, I know, and obviously,
When was the last
look,
time you had a
feels good.
Sizzly?
Probably a couple weeks ago. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm not like
I still love
I'm
Wawa.
pretty good. Like I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes my parents are home from Florida. That's their. I like tell like I have coffee at the house. They like don't make it there. My dad goes to Wawa every time he's home because he just does, and he'll come home and he like gets Hunter hash browns that have like 27 ingredients, and I'm like, whatever, have the hash brown. And then I'm like, well, now I want poison too because that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
it is. I'm telling you, when I eat that sausage, egg, and cheese sizzly on a croissant, I want 4 more. Like, I don't
Yeah,
feel
but
that way
that's a
when I
weird
make
thing
my own
too.
eggs.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
know.
I'm like, oh, like I'm done. I'm full. I'm good.
Oh, well,
But
that's
when I have
why
that
if
sizzling, I
I'm
want it all.
hungry, like I try to do like I fast as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like I haven't eaten today, but I'm already thinking about like, oh, I could eat something.
Yeah, like something
But if
ravenous.
I
Yeah,
throw
yeah.
I always try to make sure I throw salad or fruit in my body first, and then I go, oh, okay, I wasn't as hungry as I thought.
Yeah.
Like I just,
No,
good.
yeah. Because if not, you're like, I'm definitely.
But if I go eat a sizzly, I'm gonna want 4 sizzlies, and
No,
then
4,
I'll go.
sit, and then you're like, I'm getting a cheesesteak later. Because it all
Yeah,
just
and a bag of
leads. It's
chips.
just like a thing. I know.
Greatest chips are the sour cream and onion hers.
Oh,
I love
dang.
those. Oh.
I get, I'm like, well, my poor grocery bill is like $400. And who am I to be spending that much money on groceries? I shouldn't be, but I get really intense fancy snacks, and it's so aggressive. Like, I get the fancy Pringles and I get like the fancy chips with avocado oil, and they're so good, but so expensive.
Yeah, but they're probably not even that much better. They're less bad.
They're less bad, and I only get them because it's like Hunter's there, and I want her to like, she has great little snacks, and it's so, but it's just so funny because they really are addicting, like the other ones, right? Like it was her little.
It's silly how people will harp on you for not touching a vaccine, but then they're gonna go and eat that other shit.
Yeah,
I don't even know. Like, it's like as they're
Also-
eating like a bag of chips, a Big Mac, and like something else, and they're like,
Well,
"Yeah,
that's
but
the whole
you
thing.
should get your vaccines."
Well, that's the problem too, right? That like people think that health is like a bought thing. Like, hey, you're not feeling great? I got a drug for that, and you're like, well,
yeah,
we're
what about
kinda
the
on them.
what did hypocrisy say? You know what I'm talking
It's-
about? Do you know what the saying is?
No,
That
what
like
is-
food is medicine. That whole saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's real. Not a conspiracy on that one, right? Food is so medicine, and there's so many herbs that heal us, which is incredible. Like, I even like during my birth, I was like nauseous because your like body's doing crazy stuff, and I was like peppermint oiling myself, and like and it really helped, and it's so real.
It doesn't help always immediately, or it
No,
doesn't help,
right.
but it helps.
Like and this is well before I am like, I haven't taken a Tylenol. I don't remember the last time I had medicine. Like, I actually tried to raw dog my wisdom teeth, and then I was like, well, that's nuts.
Okay,
that was
that I love
ridiculous.
medicine
No,
for,
wait.
okay.
It was ridiculous, okay? I like raw dogged it for one night, and the next day I took that ibuprofen, and I was like, holy shit, medicine works.
Yeah,
I
or
was
like
it was like
Novocaine
it was
in
like
the
an
first
8.
place.
Oh no, I like did the thing, but I was like, oh wait, like I don't need these ibuprofen 800s. The next day, I took it and I was like, I feel great. I went and ran a 5K. I was like, I feel awesome. I was like, wow, okay, this is great. Like but I haven't taken like if I get a headache, I'm not taking anything, and it's not out of like, oh, I'm sure. It's just like, I'm cool with being a little uncomfortable, and then it's like I'll turn the lights down, I'll put a hot I'll take a shower, I'll do stuff because I do have some friends. I'm like, how many Tylenols you be taking a week just because your little belly hurts? This is insane,
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta and then they have like, then it leads to gut issues and it leads to other things, but
your microbiome screwed up from ibuprofen.
yeah, from just too much,
But that's the thing.
But you do need medicine for stuff because, dude, my wisdom teeth, whoo, that felt great.
Yeah.
Ibuprofen 800, baby.
Well, I don't think we need anything. If they prescribed you anything else for those wisdom teeth, I don't think you need it. You don't need
No.
hydrocodone for that.
Oh no, because that ibuprofen 800 was fine.
Yes.
Like, I was great. Like I was pain free.
But that's where like medicine works for something, and you think, oh, well, it worked for this, and I'll take this to work for that, and
Yeah.
some stuff you got to feel. But then also same thing with like antibiotics. I think antibiotics are a little overprescribed, but they're fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. When you need them, what a
I've
miracle
needed them a
drug.
couple
Oh yeah,
times,
yeah,
yeah.
miracle. I mean, that's the other thing, and I hate that two things can't exist at once nowadays. That like
Yeah,
that
that's
like
a problem.
like people are like, oh well, you don't want vaccines, so like now you don't believe that. I'm like, no. Like
I want
I
some.
believe I want all that. Like if I get like my husband's
Smallpox.
biggest fear is like bacterial blood infections. Like that's like his only fear about stuff. Like because they're the things that they just take you out so quick, right? So he's like, that's like
sepsis or something.
yeah, like stuff like that. It's bad. It's scary.
Yeah.
No, dude, some stuff is terrifying, right?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
Oh,
for
it's
stuff,
fantastic. But we've just overdone, and also like the other thing is like the world right now makes me really upset that they don't give grace to the people who are like kind of like, oh yeah, my whole thing on vaccines, and it's funny, the first like year of Hunter's life, I would have not told a soul. I was still like very anxious. Still like if she ever got like a cough, I'd be scared. Like, oh my gosh, she could get what? And now I'm so convicted, and like everything that I've researched and everything that I've seen and how I've watched her body and how she is among other children her age. I'm so convicted now that it doesn't bother me, and I don't really care what people say about it because I'm like, I'm not mean. I'm not a mean person. That's just not what's right for me or my family, right? And that should be fine. It shouldn't affect other people. They shouldn't wish death on people like way people were doing it during COVID. Like, if you don't get this thing, you should die. And you're like, well, that's mean, not very
Yeah.
kind. And
Why do you think people are so unkind like that, though? You know what I mean? Like there is it's as if it doesn't register them to be like, this is kind of mean what you're saying. It
And
is. They chose a
unhuman.
side and they said, I'm going to agree with this
And
side and
no
I need
matter
to,
what.
I want to be part of this group. And now social media just has it that
Yeah.
if you have a belief, there is a group for you and they're going to reiterate it for you.
Yeah, it's so sad.
And I can jump right on it and find someone who's going to co-sign my shit.
Yeah, and like just hype you up that like they think you're right, and it's like I'm never doing stuff to be right either. I think that's the most important. Like another
Sometimes
important
I
thing is
hope
like
it's not right.
I'm like
I
I
hope I'm not
hope
going to die from it.
right,
You
right.
know?
No, and with everything that way, like the way the doctors are now of like, oh, these like you should be giving people grace because like what happened during COVID was real, and like there were lies, there were censorship. So like, yeah, excuse half the population for being a little weary now because like it was pretty aggressively like it was a huge lie. It's not even a conspiracy theory anymore.
No, it's
It's
not.
real. Young kids, people, the most heartbreaking thing about drugs like this and Big Pharma is that people got seriously injured in these trials. And you know what they do to these people? Nothing. They leave them to the dust. I follow this girl. She was severely injured. Okay, this is someone so pro-vaccine. I want to help the world. I'm going to volunteer myself to be part of a trial. That is so brave, by the way, because I'm such a chicken shit. I'd be like, fucking better get someone else to do that trial.
Yeah, you guys do it first.
Give me a break. Like,
Yeah.
I'm never volunteering myself as anything.
Yeah, you
So
can
this
walk out
girl
on the ice.
bravely did that. She's disabled now, like can't walk because she had such a severe reaction. And it's like a real thing, but they don't tell people that.
Well, I'd say like, well,
Or they're like, that's so rare. I'm like, okay, so who to say that her life matters less than? Like, you're saying like, well, it's so rare, like her case. I'm like, yeah, but that's like devastating.
well, she
That's
probably
like,
signed a waiver that said like, if
right,
this happens,
you can't do
you know,
anything. But it's like, again, people don't understand that it's like this stuff really happened.
But like,
and
what made her believe so deep and dearly about vaccines that she was willing to do that?
Well, people, it's again, and then I'm like, is it a disconnect from the divine? Because I'm like, I'm telling you, it was never political for me, the vaccine. It was something deep to my soul that I knew. And I would just look up and I told her, I'm like, I don't know, just don't feel right, dude. Like,
Yeah, I just don't wanna
my
do it.
bad. Like, I was like, I don't know, I just don't want to do it. And it's like, that was it. It wasn't any like malicious thing to make anyone else upset, to get a part of their agenda. It was just like, I don't know. I just like believe in my body. I believe that, I get really upset thinking about like my young niece getting it and how she like begged to get it because of all the propaganda.
That
Like, it,
one
like,
blew my
devastates
mind,
me.
that they
Like,
were
it, like,
excited about the
really-
next one.
Yeah, it like devastated me though because I'm like, she's so young, and like to know that there's no studies on what this is gonna do long term, and already what we're seeing with like miscarriage rates and just like, and don't get me started, and people probably shutting on us, and it's like, it's a lot going on. I'm like, I'm just saying, a lot going on, but it's also like real stuff because it's not like these are like, this is like stuff you can just go on the CDC's website. Like, this isn't like,
Now it is.
And also what's so sad, and it actually, I get so sad because I like really, so I love Robert Kennedy Jr. I like think he is so damn cool. I went to Philly when he did his like speech to go independent, and he would have been so good for America, and it's so sad that he had to align with Trump, but the only person who would let him do it. So, and the reason he's aligned with Trump is because the Democratic Party is super undemocratic. Do you know why he's not on, like, he couldn't get on the ballots because the Democratic Party was suing him off in every state. Trump was like making fun of him, like, oh yeah, that loser. Like, Trump was like, he wasn't suing him off. Like, he was like, I'm going to win fair and square or whatever. Like, Robert Kennedy actually had a chance. if the Democratic Party would have put Robert Kennedy up, he probably would have won against Trump. Not even kidding. Because he had such a heavy independent following. And also, there's enough people that hate Trump enough that I think just hearing the Kennedy name, even with some of his controversy, he would have won. But the Democratic Party literally sued them off every ballot. And that's why he had to join with Trump.
I just don't believe in politics anymore.
No, it's so sad.
So,
no, it's
he
devastating.
wouldn't have won because I don't think.
No, I don't think he
I
would have been
think
able
that-
to because it's
I
already
believe-
played out, right?
In your beliefs, for sure, and in the beliefs of those, yes,
he was so great.
I agree with everything you're saying, 100%.
Yeah.
But
No, it's not real. I agree
the
with
script
you.
is already written.
And what made me sad is like when I went to his thing, he just spoke with like, and he's probably fake too, but like he spoke with so much grace compared to anyone in politics. Like he was really running on like we are two wings of the same bird, and like it doesn't fly if we're not nice to each other. Like literally that was it. Like it wasn't like it doesn't work. He was like we need to be kind. Like we need to talk to each other. We need to be cool. Like. And he had the most amazing, just like uplifting, like really like hippie people come and like say just nice things. And it was just such a good first movement to try and get people to be, you know, because it was cool. If he ran as an independent, it would have been dope, you know? But it doesn't matter anyway.
I have a vote RFK pin.
Oh my God, I have so many pins. I was so aggressive. I like got too buzzed at the thing afterwards. I like went and met him. I have a picture with him.
Oh, nice.
I was too buzzed. Because I was like, I don't go to the city a lot. So I was like, I'm getting it all in, right? Like I was like, I'm going to get a really sexy dinner. Then I'm going to go to this thing and like meet him. And I was like so tuned up, like on a couple martinis. He's like laughing at me in the picture because my sister was taking it. Because I was like, ah, like hugged him really big. And he was like giggling because I was just like being ridiculous. Because it wasn't like that serious for me. Like I also agree that like, politics aren't really real. But I just liked his energy. I thought it was really nice. It was just refreshing to hear someone talk with grace, you know? And it's just something we don't hear anyone talk about. It's like, you should hate that guy. You should hate that guy. So when I heard him speaking like that, it like really resonated. And also, he was the only one speaking out about COVID at that point, which meant a lot to me.
Have you ever read his book?
Oh my God. I didn't get all the way through because it's just a lot of information. But
The
yeah.
one about Fauci?
Oh, yeah. The real Anthony Fauci.
How do you, like, what do you feel about the flipping of the pyramid right now?
Well, it doesn't, you know what it is? It doesn't matter. It's cool. I think it's a great thing because who cares at the same time? Honestly, telling people to eat real whole food should
this
not
is my
hurt
thing.
anybody.
There shouldn't
right?
be a flipping of the pyramid or
No,
anything like
it
that.
should just be
Why are people looking over to the government for them?
to tell them what to eat.
I know.
Why? Because everyone is
and people are
inept.
getting upset that the government is telling me to eat this.
And you're like,
stop looking for the
them.
government
And
to tell you how
stop-
to eat, dude.
Like I wish, and it's so sad because I just wish everyone would stop, you know? Like just stop participating. Like I don't know how we do it. I know it's never happening,
you know what's weird?
but wish we could. Wish we could revolt and just stop paying.
Trump just signed this new thing into order, and it's putting milk back into school lunches.
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
I didn't know they were out of school lunches.
Okay, well,
So, because I'm not like I don't have a child age, you know.
I haven't talked to Emma about this yet, but I covered on one of our other podcasts, the conspiracy one,
Yeah.
or it's not really conspiracies, it's just alternative thinking.
Yeah.
I covered one episode on government cheese, and like that was my topic for the for the day. And oh, that's snow.
Oh, falling
That
off
fell.
the house. Yeah.
Whoa, that scared me
Holy
for a second. I was
moly.
like, "Geez,
You're like
they
they're
are
coming
listening."
down. Yeah, they're coming to get us.
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
It's happening.
I swear, I like cheese.
Yeah, I love cheese.
But I covered. I say, you know, this is. Do you know about government cheese? Do you know the history
No.
of it? Oh, you should watch that episode. It's fun.
Government cheese, like real like cheese, eating cheese.
Yeah.
Oh.
You should watch that episode when
Oh
it
my
comes
God,
out. I
I'm
think
never
that
gonna
comes
want to have
out
cheese again.
in like
am
a week
I?
or two. Well, no, it's not anti-cheese.
Okay, all right. I was like, oh,
It goes back to there was a dairy surplus,
Yeah.
late 50s or after World War II there was a dairy surplus and we had to bail out all the dairy farmers, and in order to do that we had to buy all the dairy. Now the government is stuck with billions of dollars worth of cheese or billions of dollars worth of dairy, and they didn't know what to do with it, so they turned it into most of it into cheese because they couldn't ship it across. They did powdered milk they could ship out of the U.S. The rest they could turn into cheese.
Yeah.
Now what do we do with all this cheese? They stuff it into these caves across about 35 caves. I think it was 35 caves across the United States. Wow. And I'm saying because they're underground, so they can just stay cool.
okay, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And acres big, right?
Wow.
And so their stuff, it was like $1.4 billion worth of cheese. Then it turns it over into welfare programs. So they start taking this cheese, and it was like grade A cheddar that they turn into a government cheese, which is like Velveeta,
Yeah,
Kraft
yeah,
cheese,
yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like this American cheese.
Yeah.
And they start pushing it all out, and then all of a sudden you have all these ads for like double cheese pizza, stuffed crust pizza, got milk campaigns, and all this stuff. So the government is like,
Yeah.
we have all this cheese and we have all this dairy, and the dairy farmers also get hold of it, and they're like, well, if they're just gonna buy us out every time, let's keep making dairy. So then the government is like, we're stuck with all this. Let's create all these programs to push it out.
Yeah.
Right now in 2000, since 2018, especially around 2020, we start building up a surplus of cheese again. And it's so crazy. We covered this episode, and I was like, we're stuck now, right? In the United States, I think I ended with this. I was like, we're at a surplus of $1.2 billion worth of dairy in the United States.
Wow.
And then a week later, Trump signs in school lunches, milk back in school lunches. And I was like
Dude.
looking at it, I'm going, oh, well, that's because we have a
All
surplus.
part of it.
We have a
So
surplus of dairy at the
wild.
moment. Yeah.
So it's like not even like, it's not really for, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's not for like,
For like,
that,
oh, how, like, yeah. It's like, oh no, we just need to get rid of this cheese.
we need to get rid of this cheese.
It's so
So that makes me,
annoying.
and RFK is standing behind him.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, and it's just sad. Like, there's just stuff too. Like, there's stuff you're just never gonna be able to do. You could be. That's why politics sucks. It's like you could be the most amazing person and like try and do right by your creator, but you have a gun to your head, like probably for real and probably theoretically
you
speaking.
got to pay the
Like, you know, it's like
stockholders,
there's no
the shareholders.
Yeah, it's just the way that it is. It's like, and it just, you know, it sucks, but I don't, and, but also, real quick on Big Pharma, what really bothers me is I have a friend, right? And he's like on the low Tatum pole of Big Pharma. Okay, like low. And also, my ex boyfriend's dad was in Big Pharma. He had a lot of stuff. Big house, sent all his kids to college. And again, he's here on the pole. You know what I mean? So it's just like the amount of money that Big Pharma has and the control they have over the politicians and over what we're doing, it's just insane. But hearing someone at the low pole be like, well, the trials don't look good, but we got to get this pushed through. I'm like, so we're saying F the people. Like, F real human beings who are having, like, real adverse reactions to this, but let's push it through so you can get your $20,000 bonus. Like, that's just what we live in
More
now,
than
too, that, like, people, it's like we don't have any humility of, like,
It's shareholder nation. That's
Yeah.
what we live in these days. It's you got to
and it's
protect
like you
the
just,
shareholder, and if they're
yeah, it's
not,
so sad.
then you have to produce more because you really have to protect their interest. And if you don't, you get pushed off the board. And if you don't, you get the company goes under. If you don't, it gets absorbed. It's shareholder nation for sure. But that, I mean, bringing us back to our God talk, like that's where I go. I want to make decisions in life a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just make them, and I don't think. Luckily, I have like other people in my life that I can call every day. But I also like to have a little barrier up, a little safety net to go. How would God look at me if I made this decision?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't. That's where I think there's a lack of God in capitalism.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with the other isms.
No, yeah,
either,
none of them.
so
Yeah, they all.
This one seems to work out the best.
You know, it's really like, it's just the way that it is. And, you know, as you get older, you're kind of like, you know, you don't realize, isn't it crazy? Like growing up, you just don't, man, it was so nice not thinking about any of it or knowing about it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't
Like-
have this right now, this podcast right now without capitalism and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind
there's
of,
some stuff.
yeah, there's a good amount.
There's some things, you know, but it's
Yeah.
still, I'm still like, let's go back, you know? I'm like, I always like joke and I'm like, why are the Amish free? Like, you know, like how come they're just free?
Why they don't get shots?
No, why are they just being able to like live their life with their little community? Like I want to live with my, and I get it. Everyone's like, well, Gina, do you really want to like not have electricity? I'm like, well, if it means that we're free and we're like away from the government, like yeah, honestly, sure. Like let's start milking some freaking cows, okay? But I understand it's a lot of work. Like these kids come out of the womb and they're working hard, you know? And
Yeah, but I was in corporate America for a while, and I hated not being able to work with my hands. I was a chef in my 20s, and
but
there
we're
was a
meant
lot
to.
of
They're
peace and
happier. They're
happiness there.
healthier. I mean,
You're touching dirt all the time.
you're doing what it just makes sense, you know, everything. And you know, I even like, because this isn't just like, oh, I watched it online, like, oh, I'm so aggressive, you know, I like ask a lot of these like I go to the Bristol Amish market, the Newtown farm, and I'm always like, can you tell me what it was like during COVID? Like I have to know. They're like, no, that was COVID. Like they like, and then same thing, like, you know, I'll go in there to get milk, and he's like, you gonna get the raw milk? I'm like, of course, dude.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah, we drink raw milk. Yeah. I'm just like, I mean, I don't love milk anyway. I'm just not like a huge, like I won't drink a cup of milk, but I'll make a latte with it and stuff. I'm just not like a huge milk drinker
Yeah,
in
I don't drink
general.
much
I just
milk.
like, I'm like, ugh, like my husband like chugs milk, and I'm like, ugh.
There's a little weirdness about it.
Yeah, it freaks me out a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
not like super down. Like I'm cool. I will have like a bowl of like nice cereal if I want one.
I love milk and cereal.
Yeah, but I don't ever want a cup of milk. And but it's all again, it's like we've given so much of our it's like just we never know where our food's coming from. It's so annoying, It's like it's so nice shopping at farms, but I understand it's so expensive. Like we order from this place called the Family Cow. So they do deliveries actually to like we pick it up at like Nottingham Insurance and Yardley. And they're amazing and their milk is great and their meat is great and everything's great. And it's so cool. They are firm believers. They're like we like to eat like God and like do all the things that God would want us to do. We respect the soil, which is a huge thing. Like our soil, we're just ruining our soil. We're doing crazy stuff, all the chemicals, all the stuff. But it's amazing, but it's super expensive. I mean, like super expensive. And I get it because they're doing hard work. Like they're cleaning a chicken coop. They're like, making sure their chickens are like roaming every day. Like I have chickens and like I a little bit curse my husband's name because I like mentioned that chickens be cool, right? It's cool. He like him and his best friend like bit the bullet and ordered them a week before our wedding. And I'm like, I don't need 10 chickens right now, And it's a lot of work. Right. And in the winter, it kind of sucks having chickens because I have a very big yard. I'm going to walk myself out there with ice cold water and like it's all fun and games. But like, it is a lot of work. Like what the Amish are doing, what they're doing isn't like, again, my husband's like, oh, you said you want to homestead. I'm like, homesteading's fun when you're like doing it with your community and you're like walking out in the morning. You got all like Billy Joe and Sal and like our horses are like driving us
Waving
over.
hello.
I'm like, I'm out there at like 6 o'clock by myself and like I'm kind of grumpy, I'm like, this is like really grateful, but like the chickens kind of smell and like I have to clean the coop and like I don't have the right, like, I'm like, you didn't set me up where I have water down there. So I'm like lugging stuff back and forth. Like I have a very long yard.
Do you talk to the chickens?
Yeah, what's sad? Our chickens all are exactly the same. So I think that's why I didn't really get like a bonded relationship like people do with their chickens.
Like they all look the same?
Yeah, they're all the exact same.
Like
Because I
brown?
feel like we have barred rock chickens, so they're like black and white and like they're beautiful birds, but they're definitely more like I'm not really connected to them. Like I wanted that to be the case. Like when I first got them, I'd like sit in the coop with them and I'd hold them when they were babies. And
you can't tell any of them apart?
I put their bracelets on them, so I do know their names, but I have to like
you have
look.
names?
Yeah, I named them, and then we did have 10 before it got eaten.
Fox.
Yeah, fox, and because like
So
the
many
time chains
foxes.
happened, and like I didn't like shut the coop on time. And they've survived a couple attacks though, because I'm like a big believer like quality life's better than a long one. So like my husband and my neighbor, they're like, why are you letting them out all day? I'm like, cause like life kind of sucks in a coop. You know what I mean? Like I think they'd rather eat 20,000 worms than sit in that coop all day. And with the risk, they're like, you gotta live a little. So I would let them out. And they've survived a lot. It wasn't until just recently, like the end of summer when the time change happened and I didn't shut the door in time. Or what happened too, our chickens started getting really brave because we're not fenced in. We just have like an open yard. And our chickens would like walk onto the canal. And I'm like, you guys can't come up here. You gotta like stay in the yard. But then they just started like kind of wandering further and further away. So I'm thinking maybe they just weren't making it back home. Like they got a little too crazy and we're like, oh, well, now we're too far.
Oh, they're just
They were like on the canal.
building a little family
like,
out there somewhere?
People are just like, oh, well.
Oh, so you give them a happy ending.
Yeah, like they're good.
They didn't die.
They didn't like just get like ripped from their coop. They were like out wandering, living their life.
It's
and
kind
like
of brutal.
It's brutal, but you know what? They lived a good life. They ate so many worms, like so many. They didn't live just in their coop. They were out there. The coop's pretty big too. They're probably happy in the run, but I just really wanted them to be eating worms. Good egg quality, doing their thing. But
Do you eat the eggs from the chicken?
yeah, we eat their eggs. Yeah, it's great. But
Oh, nice.
again, it's I go through stages with like all foods. Like I get a little icky with eggs, and I get a little icky with milk.
Yeah.
It's just the way that I get. You're like sometimes
I
you
mean,
just
listen
get
to
the
your
egg.
body. My body's usually telling me something if I'm getting icky with it.
Yeah,
or
like,
it's
I'm
telling me
icky.
something if I need it.
Yeah, and sometimes I like love it, like But I think too, it comes from like my husband and I are definitely very traditional in our roles. So like I do all the cooking and I do like all that. So I think sometimes it comes from like me being the one cracking them every day. I'm like, I can't crack another egg. I don't want to look at an egg. Like I'm good, Where I'm like, if someone was like, when I go out to bread, I'm like, I'll have an eggs Benny for charcoal. I want that egg. But I'm like, because like I didn't have to look at it and crack it and like see the egg do its egg business,
Well, I have to pee, so I think we should wrap this
Yeah,
up. But
this is great.
we're gonna have to do another one
I know.
and talk about conspiracies or JFK or something like this. But I'm grateful that this is what we ended up talking
Yeah,
about.
we talked about a lot. It was great.
Yeah.
So fun.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh, no, I feel like we went at it.
We
you
could
know?
probably keep going for another 2.5 hours, but
Yeah, I have lots of thoughts, lots of things.
yeah. Thanks so
But-
much for doing this.
No, thanks for having me. You're so sweet. It's
Yeah,
great.
appreciate
Thank you.
it.
You're the best.